Arturo Dark Knight. He's one of our best listeners. Oh, UV.
UV? Did you just say UV?
Why is there a chicken in my parking lot?
And hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Reality Skewed Gamers Wednesday night hump stream. Let's go, skewers. Let's hear you in chat. Let's go. Let's rock and roll. It's Wednesday. It is time for the longest running live stream in the Star Wars Galaxy Heroes community. I'm your host with the most, Ranger J 1999, welcoming you into another session. Man, we've been doing this 5+ years, and we're planning on doing another 5. Or until I stroke out. One of the two will happen. One way or the other, we'll get there. Joining me, we have some very special people here with us. First of all, we have from vacation out of the woods of Wisconsin. I don't know why he went to Wisconsin. Out of all the places I would have chosen. Sure. But we have the sexy Buddha, the lightsaber builder extraordinaire, Sir Loki.
What's up, guys?
I'm glad to have
Good
you.
to be back.
Yeah, man. Did you and the harem have a good vacation?
I had a splendid vacation, man. Still recovering, but beautiful part of the U.S. and glad to be back, man. I mean, a lot of stuff happened in SWGOH, so excited to talk about it tonight. But all is well here.
All right. Also joining us, we've got a new and upcoming streamer. He has been joined us recently in a couple streams. We've got the Gaming Geek, the one and only, here with us.
What's up, people?
There he is, the Gaming Geek, hanging out in the Aluminum Falcon, doing what they do, man. So, Gaming Geek, how are you this fine evening, sir?
I'm good. I just got done playing some Star Wars: The Republic and just hanging out with you guys now.
The Edge Republic. That's the MMORPG, right? Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I beat every single. I played that game so religiously, dude. I beat every chapter, class, event in there, and I just was like, okay, I beat all the raids. I did all this. You know, PvP got boring. I was like, okay, it's time to move on. And because I had all the gear, I had all the outfits. I just was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know, I beat everything and I'm like, okay, that's cool. And also join us. Well, look who it is. Well. I don't know how long he'll be here. He could be here for 2 minutes or he could be here for the whole 2 hours. I don't know. You never know. It's the GAC Whisperer, the leader of the fourth Okage of the Hidden Village Leaf, the one and only Minato Namikaze, a.k.a. Thane Kyrelli.
Hello there.
Well, hello there. What are you doing, fool?
Nothing much, man. Just hanging out. I have something to be tonight, but I have some time to hang out for a bit.
Let's see what I'm saying. You know, he just shows up when he wants. Doesn't bother with GAC anymore. Doesn't even show up. It's fine. Nothing. Just nothing. You know, it's fine, Thane. I'm getting it. I'm going undefeated. I don't need you anymore. I don't like your.
Are you going undefeated?
No, I lost one. The Kenobi coin flip got me that one round, but. We're 9-1. We'll try to go for the undefeated 11-1. So that's what I usually do anyway. You know,
nice.
You know, 11-1, 10-2, 12-0. It's right around where I'm at. You know, it's what I do. You know, sometimes stuff happens. There's nothing you can do. That one loss was I lost the Kenobi flip, and that was all she wrote.
Like, I hear that Grid's been doing pretty well.
Yeah, Grid's doing. He's on a hell of a streak. So
I hear that Bitcoin fell from grace.
He lost, yeah. it's really surprising. You know, I host the GA Center. You guys know this, but right now it's unbelievable. If you looked at the previous seasons and like who went undefeated and had crazy records, the two that were not a part of that list is Thisk and Grid in Division 2. They are at the top of it right now. So it's pretty impressive to see. In Division 1, Gom's killing it, man. I knew Gom was going to be competitive, but I didn't think he would be, you know, this competitive. He's had some close. Yeah, Gom's number 1 in Division 1. Yeah. Zareth has lost 2. Solo's lost 2. Yeah, I mean, it's unreal, man. So it's been kind of crazy. You know, the stuff's been flipped, but it's every week's different. I mean, you know, we saw this in previous GACs where we were looking at the stats and stuff, and there's just that 1 week where something happens, losses start coming in, and then, you know, they just have a bad either 5v5 or 3v3, and then that's all she wrote. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, the changes would shake stuff up for sure, but I wasn't expecting that, man. Gom, good job, buddy.
Yeah, he's been lucky a little bit too, because, you know, not putting mods on characters, he's been a little lucky with some of his play, man. He really has, because there's been a couple that were really super close that he pulled out. But hey, man, you got to give him the man credit. He hasn't lost yet. So, all right. So,
how are you doing, Loki? By the way,
yeah, Loki went 2-1 last week, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's still a winning record, but I think I got 4 losses right now. So
okay, not bad.
It's still a really good
yeah,
season.
it's not terrible. Yeah,
no, yeah. You know, I mean, I'm 18-3 going into this week. I just won, so I mean, I'm top. You know, I'll be in the top maybe 5 to 7. I'm not going to get the tops because these undefeated nut jobs. You know, I mean, but I don't care. I mean, I just have fun with it and do my record, and it's a high winning percentage. So it's all you can do, really, folks, in GAC. I mean, it's just what it is. All right, so that's the introductions out of the way. Let's talk about the mechanisms. So how does this stream work? It's pretty easy. It's interactive. First thing I'll say is hit the thumbs up, subscribe. You hear every streamer say that, especially on YouTube. It's just the way the algorithm works. If you'd like to support the channel, please do. It really does help the content. If you'd like to have fun while we're streaming, you can do stream alerts. You can do stream elements. You can find the links are down below. You can go to Twitch and you can play all the funny sound bites that you guys like to hear. You can use bits. You can use donations. You can use... you can tip and do all the funny sound alerts. You're more than welcome to do that while we're streaming. We love it. You can also, while we're streaming, do super chats. If you really want to get our attention and you want to support the channel, you can do that. Think about becoming a Patreon sponsor. $5 a month really does make a difference for us to continue doing the content that you guys enjoy. Again, this is all the mechanisms. I got to say this stuff. So, last thing I'll say is, get your questions in the chat. This is an interactive stream. Nice. Yeah, very nice indeed. Oh, there's Grande popping in. There we go. It's starting. It's working. It's working. But if you have a question, we will have a Q&A session. So put your question into the chat. Make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question statement. All right, I saw that sneaky toaster you popped in there. But put your question in the chat. But we have a filtering tool. It's Nightbot. We have to have a filtering word. It's the word question. So make sure you put the word question in front of your actual question statement. You'll see some examples of that. People will do it and just follow that format, because we have a lot of people that will watch the stream, and you know, we can't keep up with chat. So the only way is to be able to filter those questions out. So help us to help you get your questions in, and we will get to that. That being said, all right, let's not dick around.
That's what I did. Oh my God, we need more one. Oh,
you're such a bastard, thing.
Oh my God.
God damn it, thing.
What did I do?
You know what you did. He played the Boo Boo Kitty clip.
Guess what I did? Oh my God,
he did it again, you son of a bitch.
Oh my God.
It has begun. Here we go, folks. All right. But we do have some news to cover. We're going to cover that first. We're going to get into the road ahead. We've had it let it sink in for a few days. Loki wasn't around to really get his initial thoughts on it. I really want to hear what Loki has to say. I really want to hear what Thane has to say. There's a lot of stuff I'm excited for. There's a lot of stuff I'm scratching my head at. I'm gonna see how it all plays out, but we're gonna talk about it because the road ahead came out on Friday. You blundering fool! That's not right, Skeletor. You get the hell out. You get that shit out of here, Skeletor. But we're gonna discuss the road ahead. If you have questions about the road ahead or what you think, thoughts, anything, feel free to put that in the questions. It's totally fine. That being said, let's cover the news. All right, let's get into it, folks. It's that time where we get into the news. We got the schedule update for today. Not a ton of stuff in there. There is some stuff and some things that they did. They're getting ready. We got August is going to be a crazy month, folks. So let's just get ready for it. All right. We get it from our good friend CG Dojafet Mini. He's 1/8 the size of original Dojo. He says, "Hi, all table heroes. Hi, Doja." He says, "Today's update introduces a few issue fixes, a character shard acceleration, and some news about double drops. And is that Galactic Legend Lord Vader I spy in the Journey Guide? It is. I checked it. He's there. He looks very angry. I'm calling the new GL Angry Anakin. That's my new nickname for him." He says, "In addition to the below updates and known issues, the August event calendar has been posted to the forums here. Please note that the original event calendar post was off by a day." Oh my god. Note that the daily logging character for August is IG88. Well, it makes sense since we got the new ship coming in. That kind of ties in. The news. In celebration of the newly announced GL Vader, all light side battles are rewarding double drops on the July 31st and August 1st. Note this does not include Galactic Legend tickets, we know. Speaking of Galactic Legend Lord Vader, he has been added to the Journey Guide, and you can get an early start on one of his quests now. So, yes. Good. So that's the big news. Shard Shuffle. We did have an announcement that Mon Mothma. Wow, has it really been a year since Mon Mothma came out? Man, it just seems recently that she came into the game. Has been added to the list of accelerated characters. This increases her. Try again. This increases her shard supply and adjusts her shard shop conversion rate to match. See the shard economy post on our forums for more details. Fixes. 3 big fixes here. We have fixes unit. Fix an issue with Jedi Master Kenobi's leader ability not blocking turn meter gain correctly against Supreme Leader Kylo Ren's leader ability. Ooh. Event. Clarify Dauntless Courage but buff duration for Clone Troopers modifier description. Event. Clarify Dark Ascension buff for both Sith modifier description, Cruel Conspiracies, and Grim Machinations. And then known issues. General known issues can be found on the development tracker here. All right, Gaming Geek, you are here. We're going to pop your cherry. What is anything on this that you, anything at all gets you excited? Or you're just like, it's another little post here. Anything that stands out to you?
Getting Mon Mothma, getting Mon Mothma really fast sounds really fun. I don't use her because my rebels are trash, but this is more incentive to get a rebel team up and running, like rebel fighter. I mean, so I'm pretty excited for that.
Yeah.
The fix is nothing.
It's moving on.
It's all above me. Yeah, I don't have the characters for that.
All right.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's pretty much all it is. We got double drops coming 31st and the 1st, so get ready to do your thing. Do your thing, baby. I mean, I'm pretty much locked and loaded for the ship. We'll talk about the road ahead here in a little bit, but Loki, anything here? You're kind of like, yay, anything on here that stands out?
I don't know, man. I'm just getting caught up. I mean, I saw the fix today on. So apparently JMK's leader ability wasn't blocking turn meter gain from Supreme Leader Kylo. So
yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Which I didn't really notice because JMK beats the living snot out of SLKR. So
no, it does, but there's an SLKR counter to JMK, which will be interesting to see if that has any impact on it. And and it looks like it just wasn't working. I mean, that's what JMK's leader does. So curious to see how that worked out. But other than everything else, I mean, Vader to the little guide there, and just getting ready for the requirements for Vader. That's gonna be a race. And then the ship too coming, so it's gonna be it'll be interesting.
Yeah. What about you, Thing Kyrell?
Same thing. I was just wondering if the SLK Arcana would still work. Not sure it will be affected or not. Mon Mothma going into the expedited is going to be great, especially if we were going for Master Luke. So that'll be fun.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me. All right, everybody just chill the F out. All right. Okay, let's go to the event calendar. That was the other thing that was posted. I mean, same disclaimer, all dates are subject to change. You can see here we've got the territory battles. We're currently in one. The next one will be Rebel Assault or Republic Offense. Then the other one, that's on the 9th of August. We have Imperial Retaliation, Separatist Might, which will be on the 24th. TWs that are coming up. We got one on the 1st, the 5th, the 16th, and the 20th. And then Grand Arena. This will be 3v3 in Fleet. This starts on the 9th of August. So once we finish this, we'll have a week break like we always do when it comes to GAC. And then we'll get into 3v3. And that'll be pretty much the entire month of August. I mean, it's going to run into the beginning of September. You can see the Galactic Challenges. Clones, GR, Empire, Jedi, Ewok, Rebel, Droid. I see the Ewoks are on there, and I'm like, I won't be getting much against those. Yeah, I'm not going to use my Ewoks, not going to gear them for that one, so I may miss up on that. The other ones, I'm like, okay, that's fine. But yeah, I saw the Ewok one here. I was like, Ewoks, eh? Not going to gear Ewoks for a Galactic Challenge. I don't know how you guys are, but that's not on my stuff of things I have to work on that'll be even remotely grossly in the things that I have to work on, especially now that we've got the ship announced. We've got the we got the new ship, we got Maul coming, we got the new Lord Vader announced, we got a lot of stuff in the tank. So anything, there's nothing really here. It's pretty much standard stuff here. Did anything stick out to you guys? We knew 3v3 was coming, we knew all this stuff. Was anybody? It's the calendar. It's nothing. The calendar just kind of tells you when stuff's coming, but there's nothing really here that sticks out to me.
I wish they would have teased when we're getting the SSD.
Which one?
When we're getting the SSD.
SSD? What the hell's the SSD?
Super Star Destroyer?
It's called the Executor, all right? I don't use your... I don't sit there and go T8K for Thane, asshole Kyrell. All right, so let's not do that, all right? Thaney. Well, I don't know. It depends. Well, what's your acronym if you were fourth Okage? Minato Namikaze. Min-K? Min-Nim-K. I don't know. I tried. Okay.
At least Galactic Republic isn't on the enemy's side for Galactic Challenges. I hate that, like 100% damage reflection.
It's really bad. It's so bad.
Annoying.
It's super bad too. I try to avoid this. Seems like the plague when I'm doing the conquest. It's like, nope. And if I do, it's like, this is getting SLKR or Jedi Master Kenobi. I'm not even dicking around with this. Not even. Because there's been a couple times where I've been forced to, and I'm like, okay. That's fine. Okay, Frank. Okay. Let's stun you. Let me stun you. And let's start AoEing and then get this crap out of here. Okay. Let's get into the meat and potatoes of what we really want to discuss. And that is the road ahead. It came out after we did the stream last week. It's been all over the forums. It's been all over Reddit. It's been all over the place. The road ahead was posted. I didn't have Thane on. I didn't have... we're going to get everybody's thoughts on this. Let's go down this one by one, get each of your thoughts on each of these different things. I'm going to kind of group it in the new ship, Maul, Lord Vader, and then the changes to the characters. And I'm going to include in that some of the stuff that was in the video. We also had the discussion that Crumb was very generous to go onto the Game It podcast with Solo and Zareth. A lot of questions that were asked there. So if you haven't watched that, you should definitely check that out. It was a great interview. You should definitely check that out for some information and stuff. So first of all, let's talk about the ship. These first three I'm excited for. I'm excited for the ship. I said at the beginning of the year that this was going to be the year of the ship. Looks like they're starting to head in that direction. I've never seen requirements like this. I did a video with Cubs, and looking at these requirements, I think this ship is going to be OP as hell. That's just my thoughts on it. We'll start with you, Loki, because new ship, how excited are you? What do you think? Requirements, let's get your perspective on this, buddy.
The capital ship, I think it's good. It just depends I don't know what tags it's going to be, right? I believe it's going to be Empire. Is it going to be a bounty hunter ship? I don't know. I'm just curious how the synergy is gonna work, if it's specifically called out in each of the abilities that it's gonna call bounty hunter ships, or if it's gonna call cargo ships. I mean, I don't know the details of that. I mean, did we need another Empire capital ship? I don't think so, but
it seems to me, Loki, that this is for bounty hunters.
No, they said that, but is the ship going to be a bounty hunter ship? We don't know.
Sure.
And how is it going to work? It's interesting because, again, we didn't need an Empire capital ship, so why the hell did they give us another Empire one? They could have given us a scoundrel bounty hunter ship, which sounds like a better fit, but is it simply because they just wanted to use those requirements that are already there? Is there, I'm with some of the people in our Discord where they're saying, yeah, you're probably going to need this for Lord Vader. That's why they made it Empire,
right?
Which makes perfect sense. But without really seeing yet the kit, it's hard to figure out if this thing's going to be good. I mean, it sounded like from Doja in the video that it's going to have some kind of an instant kill, because he said it's going to blow ships away. I mean, Thrawn already has an instant kill, and Thrawn is kind of bleh. I mean, it's not great, but it takes a while to charge up. So, I mean, if this is going to hit multiple ships, because he said it's going to blow ships away, that'll be an interesting one, because we already have Holdo with Holdo maneuver that blows away the capital ship. If this thing blows away multiple ships, then it kind of puts Thrawn to waste, I guess. I don't know. I mean, why would you use Thrawn other than kind of like a throwaway, crappy, cheesy team on defense or something like that, right? But without really seeing the kit, it's hard to say, but I'm sure it's going to help the bounty hunters plenty. Curious to see what the IG-88, the IG-2000 ship's going to play a role in, because his kit alone, it heals droids. So I don't see any synergy other than, he attacks a bunch out of turn and, kind of does his thing. And they said it's going to have a breach synergy. So, it's really all we know. But, it could have, on the surface, it sounds good. It's good that they're putting more capital ships, but, I feel like we need more regular ships too.
Okay.
Razor Crest isn't enough. I mean, they've released one new ship and then one new capital ship for this 2021 year. And that's pretty much it. So hopefully they release more, but I just feel like because it's an Empire ship, you're probably going to need it for Vader. It's probably going to cause a bunch of uproar in the community, as always. And we just got to, live with it. And if you're going to go for Vader, you got to go for Executor. So I
plan on getting the ship. I mean, I have a couple characters. I just have to relic them. The other ones are relic, and I just have to take them to their higher relics. Now, Thane, 2 relic 8s on this bad boy. That's pretty. We've never seen requirements like this for any ship before like this. It was always just you had the ships. You could get the other ones were more of an event. This one's going to be an unlock. Now, depending on how many stars you have in your ships, you probably will be able to unlock them, but to complete it, you're going to need 7 stars on all the ships, including Razor Crest. Looking at the requirements and looking at the ship's requirements and stuff, I mean, how are you feeling right now with the relics and everything like this?
I love it.
Oh, you love it. He's loving it.
Yeah, man. You know me. I'm a ship guy, so yeah, I love it. I've been saying for a long time.
You are not a ship guy. You are a stabby lightsaber guy. Don't lie.
And I've been saying for a long time that we needed the SSD. I think I told you as soon as it came, I was like, we need the SSD. We need the SSD. It's cool that they're making it with bounty hunters. That's going to be very interesting, because I didn't like how they almost like faction locked you with the changes with the new ships.
Sure.
Like, you kind of use like first order with first order, resistance with resistance. Like first order and resistance are the most flexible, But even like Akbar, like, you know, you have rebels and stuff. So I didn't like this faction lock thing. That's when people came out and said like, oh, you know, we need a bounty hunter, a capital ship, and they wanted Honda or this or that. And I was like, oh, like I really don't care. I just make Mace the bounty hunter capital ship. But, you know, bringing out the SSD, that's awesome. Because like I think you're right. I think they are going to be able to blow away the other capital ship eventually. Because you got to remember the scale of the SSD is like massive. Like you can park. It's
huge.
It is huge.
How are they going to fit it on the screen? That's what I'm trying to figure out. That thing is ginormous. I mean, a Star Destroyer, you think those park into the Super Star Destroyer. It carries those with it. I mean, it's ginormous, folks. Let me just put that out there. But do you think the relics are okay? I mean, they're actually good relics. I mean, they really are. Admiral Piet, it makes sense. He's the captain, the admiral, the leader of the ship. So relic 8 for the ship. When you unlock him, you've got that squared away. You don't have to worry about it. Boba Fett, okay, relic 8, but Boba Fett, he's gross at relic 7 and relic 8. I've seen you and Loki.
He is. I already had him at relic 8, so like I don't even think about that. I've seen
you and Loki do some stupid things with those bounty hunters with Boba Fett, where he's like. Yeah. And I feel like I'm like a golf announcer. And here's Boba Fett. He's going for the rock, and that person just obliterated into tiny bits. Good job, Boba Fett.
You know, I will say this, Ranger. Like overall, you know what I love the most about this Road Ahead post?
What's that?
That it's gonna postpone you working on C.
Oh, C's off the table, baby. Are you kidding me? It's totally
That's
off
what
the
makes
table.
you the most happy.
I mean, because I thought, you know, because we already talked about this, I'm not even going to attempt C until after I get GL Vader, right? That was the plan, right? Right. And so that was I already got Bad Batch 7-star. They're ready to go. I just have to save the gear. You know, I got to take Raider up, but I've got the Corbantes easily for that. So it's just, you know, and I've got till the end of August to save up and then just rock and roll. So, you know, we'll go through 3v3 GAC. I'll save everything up. I'll hoard it. I'll get ready, and then we'll burn through it, and we'll be ready. Now, I probably won't do like Loki and have 25,000 energy ready to go to complete him on the first day, but I'll unlock him. Now, what I do want to get is we got the Gaming Geek here. Now, you're only like 3.6 million GP, if that's
somewhere around there.
Somewhere right there. Now, when you see let's just start with this ship. I know you're not even sniffing this ship, but when you see this ship,
not at all.
What are you thinking, man? I love that your perspective, because you're a much lower GP player than we are, right? So when you see stuff like this, let's start with the ship. What are your thoughts? What are you feeling? I mean, just be real, man. What do you got? What do you got for us?
I want that insta kill ability to be them sending a TIE fighter into the enemy's bridge. Good. Just like the Rebels did to them and during the Battle of the Second Death Star.
That's awesome. What I would love to see is, I don't know if we'll get it, but like if it's a Superstar Destroyer, I want to see it have like that instant kill. But I don't know, like
just crash into the enemy ship.
No, man, I want to see episode 3 where the Death Star comes in and like shoots a beam and blows up one of the capital ships.
That would be awesome. Holy, oh my!
I mean, we're probably not going to get that, but I mean, you know, it does have the capability of bombarding the planet, so you just see it lock its turbo lasers on a ship and then it annihilates it, right? Because if it can destroy a planet, it can destroy a ship. So, you know, but yeah, I mean, you're a ways away from getting it. Is it something you would want to push toward, or, you know, wait till after the kit comes out, Gaming Geek? What do you think?
I would push towards this if I was able to spend $30,000 like some people here. Like I can't. Where my count is right now, I would have to be. It would be years ahead before I even think about getting this, because those characters that require those relics to get that, I'm just so far away from getting them. Like getting them up that high a gear.
So far
I have so many more things
away.
to do that. I have so many more characters to gear before them.
I know, you stay on target, young man. All right, so that's the ship. Check it out.
Well, I'll say one more thing about the ship really quick.
Go ahead.
So, you know, obviously, you know, if you're like leaning around in the game and stuff, when people say like, "Oh, they're expensive requirements," if this new ship is the new meta, remember, guys, fleet metas take a long time to shift. It's not like regular arena, right? So if you invest in like this new ship and it's the meta, it's probably going to be meta for the next year or plus. You know, like, I mean, how long have we had Negotiator and Malevolence as the meta, right? Fleet meta shift very, very slowly. So just kind of keep that in mind.
I made that video with Cubs. I don't know if you guys saw it, but I mean, we talked about that. You should prioritize, if you have to pick between GL Vader and the ship, get the ship. Because the requirements for Vader, 1, are just going to be ridiculous, I think. And 2, it's ship meta. That's one of the points we made. I mean, I think the ship's going to be OP. So if you've got to make a choice of what you go for first, I don't know how you feel, Loki, your thing, but if you're on that fence and you got to start from scratch, I think you go and get the damn ship. I mean, you could probably have a lot more success with the, getting tops in arena if nobody else has it, and you're only facing the people that do. I don't know. We have to see the kit, but I mean, that's my kind of thought on the ship, that I think it's going to be OP as shit, man. I think it's going to be OP as hell, man. So, depending on how close you are for each of these, I'm going to get both. Loki's going to get both. Thing's going to get both. Gaming Geek's going to drool. And
I'm going to get SLKR after a year.
Hey, man, that's a big deal, dude. Don't slouch on that, man. That's a big deal, dude. You stay on that SLKR, man. Trust me, you'll be so happy when you do, man. Still one of the best GLs in the game. He really is really good, dude. All right, so that's the ship. Loki, how good are we? You know what I said when I first covered the post? I don't know if you saw what I called the titles. Like, I was right. Maul, Conquest character. He's going to be dynamite. Now, you don't see anything. It just says new character for Conquest as Maul, but going to have synergy with Mandalorians. He's going to have synergy with the new GL Vader, like Cat has synergy with JMK. We called this. We said this a long time ago, even before they even announced Conquest. Now, we thought it was going to be Legendary events that they did this before we got Conquest, but we said it's going to be Ahsoka and it's going to be Maul. It is Maul. Loki, how are you excited about Maul? I mean, because Ahsoka is pretty damn good. I mean, that little lady is dynamite. How excited are you for the new Maul? Season 7 Clone Wars Maul, by the way.
Again, it's a mixed bag for me because I don't know how they're going to synergize him with Lord Vader, because they didn't say. The reason why Kat has synergy with JMK is because she's Galactic Republic, right? This dude is, all we know right now is he's non-aligned Force user and Mando. That's all we know. We don't know if he's scoundrel.
I know how they're going to synergize. They hate Kenobi.
That's true.
It's going to be Kenobi, and they both just go bananas and kill him.
And that's the first time they've ever done this. Actually, I'll take that back. Second time they've done this, because they had the Mace deletes Django kind of NPC ability in the game. But I have no clue, man. I mean, I would have thought maybe he'd be scoundrel too, and maybe he still could be, but he's only going to have 2 faction tags, which doesn't sound good right now. The Mando one, okay. I mean, that's kind of cool. And I guess the signet or whatever, the mark moves between the squads is what Crumb kind of said. So I'm, whatever that mark means, we'll see in the coming weeks, I guess. I'm sure they're going to start revealing the kit pretty soon. They did say there was a delay in Conquest, I believe. So, we'll just see where that is. But initial thoughts, that dude has to be good. He has to be the same caliber, if not better than Cat. I mean, they set the bar, I think, pretty high with Cat.
Yeah.
So we're all expecting him to be like that. Is he going to have an instant kill? We don't know yet. How he's going to have synergy with Vader. I mean, God, who knows what they're going to do with that. We're assuming that Vader's possibly going to be Empire Sith is what we're thinking.
Yeah.
Hopefully, just as Kenobi is Jedi Galactic Republic. So it's the double tag, but it's all about the faction tags, man. If Maul doesn't have scoundrel or something like a good solid tag, because right now the Mandos suck. Yeah. And we can all say that. They're pretty bad. If he's the new Mando leader, which would make sense, is he going to have a lead, which is the next question, because Cat doesn't have a lead, right? So, or is he going to be specifically built for Lord Vader and that's it? Which is,
I think he's going to be built for both, and it's kind of like Cat with.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think he is. I think they're going to do a good job with that, and I'm excited because that and it's going to have moves from that. I'm excited because to see how they're going to play him out.
I hope he pulls the Darksaber out of his pocket, because it would be a shame if it would be a shame if he was a Mando, the leader of the Mandos, and he doesn't have a Darksaber somewhere.
He still should have had it. I mean, I don't know if Sidious took it. I don't.
He had the double. He had the double, but the thing was is that image they teased us with, he still had the double saber, right? Which
he fought Ahsoka with. He didn't pull out the Darksaber, so we'll see. We'll see what happens.
But you know what I'm getting at.
I know.
He's going to be pretty sad if he has a Mandalorian tag. He's the leader of the Mandos, and he has no Darksaber to go along with his red saber.
Sure.
That'd be a big letdown. But I mean, initially right now, they haven't released a lot of information, man. I mean, we can theory craft and maybe figure something out, but right now it's not looking great because of the factions.
Well, we'll see. They're just teasing us with stuff, so I don't. They're not going to give us the whole reveal.
But again, that's what makes Kat so good, is she's Galactic Republic, and
they're going to tie in Anakin and Maul somehow, and I don't know what they're going to specifically be. He's not going to be Sith, but we'll see how it is. I mean, we'll see. We'll see how it plays out, and then we'll make a judgment call on it. Thane, Maul, what are you thinking there, buddy? Maul, Kenobi.
I'm not a fan of Maul.
You love him.
I mean, so I mean, I'm excited for him to show up, but I mean, I'm more excited for him for Mando. I mean, I don't like that he's going to be like the cat for Lord Vader. I wish that, he was just like kind of like a Mando character, and he was like the Mando lead that we need.
Yeah.
Because that's where I want to use him.
Maybe he will have that leader. We don't know. Just because they did Kat's kit a certain way doesn't mean they're going to do Maul's kit the exact kind of same way with her.
Yeah, but I don't want to have, I don't want me to have to put Maul on the Anakin, on the Lord Vader team for GAC or TW. So I kind of wish that, that wasn't the case.
Sure.
I understand why they're doing it that way, but it is what it is. I personally, like I said, I'm personally not a fan of Maul, but I know a lot of people are excited for him. So, we'll see how they build their kit for him. I really, really, really hope that he is, more synergistic with Mandos versus Lord Vader. But we'll see what they give us. And
we get the low GP perspective. We got the Gaming Geek. When you heard Maul was coming to the game, how are you doing in Conquest, by the way? I mean, are you on normal? I'm assuming you're on normal only at the moment.
Yeah, I can get up to gas, and then I think I can get up to like right before the boss battle for CLS, and then I can't go past that. I still get a good rewards, but I can't get the red crate, which is sad.
Not yet.
Not yet. With SLKR, I will be abusing that, abusing him pretty much. I really want, the only way I think they could do like Maul with Lord Vader is just have like Lord Vader have like a ability that applies to all dark side units.
Yeah,
because they don't have any of the same tags at all.
Yeah.
Also, I really want Maul to have some synergy with like the mob enforcer. And
how dare you, sir? How dare you? All right, your take.
I'm a 7-star mob enforcer.
That's
I need something
horrible.
Go with it.
Oh my sweet. Why? Why do you have a 7-star mob enforcer?
I don't know. I was stupid 2 years ago. It was a dumb choice. I was just mindlessly inflating my GP, I guess.
Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Well, you heard it here first, folks. You will have regrets in life if you get a 7-star cup. Oh, no. Yeah. Well, you didn't say...
I didn't gear it up. It's still like
mob enforcer or something like that. So I mean, I guess we can take solace in that. So, the Gaming Geek, he's all about law enforcement, and I can respect that. So, even though it's in the underworld and it's a police officer in the underworld, so we'll go with that. So
next time it's next thing I'm
sure
7-starring his cup, and that's gonna be my first relic 8.
All right, next we called this one too, GL Lord Vader, and not only did we call this Loki, I've been singing it for like as soon as I saw the first Bad Batch come in, I was like, they're going to be needed for GL Vader. I've been begging people to start farming and working on these guys because I knew that they were going to be requirements. The sad thing that we got right, Loki, that I'm ashamed of is that we joked and said, they're going to put the Tuskens in there. Well, they did. least one Tusken Raider. So, and we got a sneak peek that we are going to need a Relic 8 gas. We called that one. We also called Relic 8 Padme. But I did say Bad Batch is going to be needed. They were going to be needed to be relicked. We joked around the Tuskens. So talk about, Loki, the requirements for GL, the Vader, the initial push, and then what do you think is coming next? I mean, I still think we're going to get Echo. I still think there's going to be some more pain coming for this GL, unlike Kenobi. But what do you think on how this is going to play out?
I think the first requirements are fine. He needs a Rose type character, so I'm hoping it's just the Tusken Raider, and we don't have to do Orr and Tusken Shaman. But who knows? Those could be Rex as well. And it's nice of them to tell us the Gear 8 gas, or I'm sorry, Relic 8 gas is needed. So that's kind of cool. I mean, I was joking with somebody in our chat, in our Discord, in the RSG Discord. I said, this might be the GL where we need one Relic 9. So, because they did specifically say that Relic 9 is going to drop right around the same time Lord Vader could drop, right? So it's like end of August, beginning of September. But other than that, I mean, I think Tusken Raider was the first dark side. Is that, or I'm sorry, he's a dark side GL. So I'm actually a little surprised in how much light side is needed, right? Initially. Mm-hmm. Is that, let me look at his Rex real quick, but, yeah, because Bad Batch is all light side. So
yeah, so's Padme, so's Gas, so's I think Tusken Raider's light side. I don't know.
No, Tusken Raider's dark side.
Is he dark side? Okay.
It's also the first Fallen GL that we have, though.
I mean, yeah, but this guy's gonna be dark side. So, yeah, I'm just
his interactions with light side characters. That's why.
I mean, they could be. But
I think we're gonna get a Relic 9 Anakin requirement.
I don't think we're gonna need that. I don't think they're gonna go past Relic 8. And here's why I say that is because they did say in the post that before the changes come in, they're gonna be pushing off Relic 9 just for that alone. So I don't think there are gonna be any Relic 9 requirements for this GL. Relic 8, I think we've got the two, just like it was for Kenobi. I think the other ones are gonna be Relic 7 and to Relic 5. Maybe a couple Relic 3s. We didn't see any of the Relic 3 requirements yet. The real question is, what do we think are going to be the next round of requirements? We got Gas, yes. We've got Padme, we called. I still think Echo is going to be a part of this. I don't think Omega is going to be a part of this. I think she's going to be the one.
Think so.
No, I don't think she is, because she never had any interaction. I looked at the way that they did Kenobi. Every character in there has some sort of interaction with Kenobi. Whether they made it part of the event or not is immaterial. But
yeah, he met the Bad Batch in season 7.
Right. So Echo counts, but never met Omega.
Well, we said Cat, right? I mean, maybe Cat's going to be one of them.
Could be Cat. Yeah, you might need Cat for him.
I mean, it could straight up be Fulcrum, right? Because I mean, how many of us have a Relic Fulcrum? They could throw that in there. We're all going to be farming Fulcrum along with our Tusken Raider, but I think it's anybody that he killed or defeated. So I mean, probably Dooku. Probably
the requirement.
Newt Gunray.
I think Noon and Watt are. Yeah, I think Noon and Watt are lock.
Yeah, I think so too. The other two Tuskens could be a lock. I mean,
yeah.
I don't know if there was a shaman in episode 2 or whatever, but
no,
those could be a lock as well. And then the ships, right? I mean,
kill them all, man. Not just the Tuskens, but the Shamans.
I think Executor
as well.
Yeah, I think Executor is going to be like one of the last Rex. That's probably
that was the thing.
3.
That was like what's going to be the ship, and it makes sense that they're going to use.
If they're going to Relic 9 anybody, it's probably going to be Relic 9 General Kenobi. If anything, you got to throw the counterpart in there somewhere.
Yeah, I just don't think Relic 9s are going to be a part of this. I think Relic 8s and 7s, but I just don't think they're going to drop Relic 9 before.
Yeah, this one's going to have a ton of Relic 8s, man. I mean, if Executor's needed, you need a Relic 8. I mean, it's all the Relic 8s right there. Yeah,
that's as
far
as
this is going to be Relic 8 City here.
Yeah, that goes without saying. And I just think that, looking at this, that I just think that they're gonna keep it a Relic 8. We'll get Relic 9 after, and with all the changes coming too. They'll drop Relic 9. They did say that. But it's going to be steep, man. I mean, if we get Echo and we get some other stuff, I mean, I don't think Tusken Shaman will be. I can see Aurora. But
I need Cam. I mean, that's one they
that's
haven't
the one
thrown in there yet.
That's the one I'm waiting for, because if they need Cam,
they've been bragging that they allowed Bad Batch in that Cam mission now for whatever reason.
I know, so but it's still
gonna make it easier.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like okay. It still doesn't mean that the farm up to this point has been super califragilistic fun. So,
yep.
I mean, the Cam mission is still really difficult, and because too, with all the issues we had with the Cam mission with Stand Your Ground. I mean, I don't know. It could be, if it is Cam, then that completely kills my Vader farm, because if it's Cam, I can't get him any faster than what my guild does in TB. I don't know what they're going to do with that, because with Cam, if you want people to spend money and they have no way of even closely getting Cam, right? If he has a requirement, profit goes away unless they do a pack. They'll do
with the same thing what they did with Watt. But with Watt, they added him in the weekly shipments.
Yep.
Yeah, but
I don't think profit will go away, man.
Yeah,
this is going to be the biggest. This is probably going to be the biggest Relic 8 grab on the planet, which is why they're probably refunding us our Relic 8s anyway. So we got to throw them on this guy.
And they came out with a new Relic 8 pack that dropped today.
Yeah, There's a lot of packs that we're going to get to here in a second.
We've been playing this game too long, man. It's too obvious.
Now, here's
it was too much of a freebie for this not to be like, really hard.
No, we knew it was going to be hard. So, I mean, it is what it is. So, the question then, I really want to get Gaming Geek's perspective on this, because it's us old crusty players. You're working on SLKR. When you see these kind of requirements needed for GL Vader, right? Fallen Anakin. I call him Angry Anakin. But, I mean, does that make you want to go for him next? Because it's such a daunting task for the relics and the characters that you need with the gear and stuff. Or are you going to go to another GL and be like, that's not even in my realm of possibilities?
The next feasible GL for me next is either C or Ray, because they're making Ray better, aren't they, in the changes?
Yeah, they actually are.
Yeah.
Yeah, C and Ray are getting buffs for sure.
Yeah. I mean, next character, one of the characters I think they're gonna add is Rex, either like a Relic 3 Rex or something. I mean, I just got him to gear 12 today. So I guess I'm close to one character for.
It's actually good you're on the stream. Because I've been actually wanting to ask, the lower level GP players. I mean, honestly, at this point, would you even go for SLKR anymore? Because you can solo the raids with JMK now, right? So, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I don't want to screw up your plan, but SLKR is becoming the crappy GL at this point, in my opinion,
Yeah, it sort of invalidates my goalposts, because I think about it like this: like I'm in the last in the race, because everybody's got these got these Galactic Legends already, and then they make a new goalpost, and everybody's focused on that. Well, you have me in the background, barely scraping my way to the first one. I just feel like I don't even know what to go after next. Gas. I wanted to go after Gas after. He's getting nerfed. Lord Vader, not even worth, or not Lord Vader, Darth Vader, not even worth going past Relic 4, which is what I have him at right now. Yeah, I just don't know what to do, to be honest.
Well, I still say
I feel you.
Yeah, I still you're about to be done with the SLKR. I still think he's pretty good. But it's a great question. Where do you go after this? Because if you go after GL Vader or General Master Kenobi, that's a long farm for you. That's a really in-depth farm, right? That you have to commit to, right? Does it make more sense to get C or a Ray or a JML, and so you can get Luke and CLS and all those teams out of it? That's a long-term farm, but you get a lot out of that farm. That's a really good point. Like, where do you go if you're a lower GP player? Like, now Gas is getting nerfed against GLs, but he's actually getting a buff against everything else. So,
my bad.
Well, no, just to be clear, Gas is getting a nerf outside of 501st.
Right.
That's a whole different conversation. Which
we're getting ready to get into that conversation.
He's pretty. Yeah, I think he's going to be nuts, man. Honestly,
I do too. I mean, I'm upset with
and you're probably going to need a GL to take out 501st at this
Let's
point.
do it. All right, let's do it.
I don't know. I just,
We have the new data disc for Conquest, yada, yada, yada. The new boss, which is coming. God help everybody that does.
See the Mandalore buff. All allies start the encounter with 3 stacks of Beskar armor.
I know.
Is that for bosses or is that for like?
No, those are just regular old Mandalorians that you can run in through there. Yeah, good old Mandalorians with those 3 stacks of Beskar. So, yeah.
I don't even think I'm gonna get past Gas once he gets changed.
Yeah,
he's gonna come back. I barely got past him each time because he was so slow getting back up.
Yeah, your host. I'm just going to throw that out there. I mean, I'll try to help you with your conquests, but they're putting that shit with the Mandalore, and then they're doing Kenobi's coming as one of the bosses, and I just was like, God help us. Oh, God. I have Kenobi Cat. I'm not worried about it. I just am worried about all the other players that don't. It's going to be really a pain in the ass. Because I don't know who's going to be on this team, but that those buffs that he has at the beginning is like, holy God, that's brutal. So they're up in the conquest, so we'll see what happens. All right, let's talk about these changes. Let's get into it. The ones that really stick out to me is Vader's. I'm not going to go through and read all this stuff, but the one that stood out to me, now, Vader got a buff in the sense that he does more damage in raids. But his Calling Blade, that 40% cut in his damage, he can't kill GLs anymore. However, do we still think he's going to be... I still think he's going to be really good against other teams. Watt really got nerfed with his offensive buff, but he still can use his defensive buff with like C and other characters. That still works. I use mainly what I use Watt for is for that. The other one is Gas. His changes, yeah, he sucks outside of a 501st, but with the 501st, he's really, really stupid good. What was the other one? Jedi Knight Luke. I think they offset what he did with defense with his offense capabilities, so I think they'll be okay, especially when he has the buff. I mean, the other ones that are listed here is the one for Basilisk Sean, Malak, Grievous, Thrawn. I just was like... Damn, they nuked Fracture, so, you know, it is what it is. They buffed Rey and they buffed C. As you look, and I'm going to get everybody's opinion on this, as you look at these changes, Loki, what do you think is going to be okay? What do you think is not going to be okay? What do you think overall for these changes? I remember you in the chat on Friday when we saw this. You were like, Luke sucks! And the thing is, I always tell the people that are like free to play, the Krakens are just as upset as you are because, like, Loki, I know you have and I have and Thane, you have too, and I want your thoughts on this. We invested heavily in these counter teams and we invested in these teams and characters to have more flexibility with our GAC. That being said, what are your thoughts, Loki? I'm going to get everybody's thoughts on this.
I mean, where do you want to start?
Start wherever you want, buddy. Go down the list to however you want to do it, buddy. Give your thoughts, man. I really want to hear your thoughts on this.
Yeah, I mean, so, you know, if you were using Nukem, if you were using Vader counter, I mean, Vader counter's kind of gone away a little bit, at least for me, but, you know, there's, you know, I see you using it, Ranger, I see Thane using it, and, you know, it's just, you know, I don't know if you have to over mod Vader now to make up for the, you know, for the added, you know, damage or crit chance or crit damage or whatever it was that he's missing now, but, it's going to be interesting, man. I mean, it's, you know, they're taking away a few of the key counters. I think the bigger one is Thrawn, honestly. Yeah. I was more upset about him, because that's basically your cleanup team. That's, you can do a lot with Thrawn. So, I mean, you know, it's, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of jumping around this whole thing, but I think Gas, you know, you've used Jedi Knight Revan with Gas and Jedi Knight Luke and all that. And to try to beat Rey. And I don't see that counter working as well anymore. Who's to say it could still work, but you need specific mods to kind of over mod the character and make up for those discrepancies, you know, make up for the abilities and the stats that they're taking away. But with that said, it's, I don't know. There's some areas, like I said, you know, Gas in a 501st, if you're using CLS to take out a Gas team, good luck, because I just don't think it can do it anymore. No. Based on what I've been reading with Gas and all that, and rightfully so, he gets better synergy with the 501st. Using him outside of the 501st there, you know, you're going to lose the reducing max health. That's the big one. So, I mean, you know, do you run him with JMK still, or do you run him somewhere else, or do you just run him with 501st, right? That's going to be something to play around with. Again, the theory crafters got to do their thing. But on the bright side, if this is going to make the game better based on what Crumb said, then you gotta trust the devs, because it's happening, right? They kind of left a little bit of a window open saying, hey, we listen to you guys, we listen to the players when these things drop, and they can always make changes back. But I think for the most part, they didn't want the troopers countering Sith Eternal. And that's fine. I mean, they shouldn't be, I mean, honestly, but a lot of us invested in Dark Troopers. So, does this make the Trooper team worse? I mean, you mentioned, relegate Piet is still decent, but if they take Dark Trooper away, that's a big problem. And I'm looking at this further down the line, like when they have Relic 9 out, if you got to fight a Darth Revan team with a Relic 9 Malik, good luck. Cause I don't think Troopers can probably take that dude out anymore. So again, we'll lose Troopers to Sith Eternal. I mean, Troopers were taking out Rey. I mean, there were a lot of things.
Hold on. So they're not changing the Troopers. The only reason that they're saying that they can't counter C is because of the changes that are coming to C. So Troopers should not
Dark
have...
Trooper, right?
No. They're not changing Dark Trooper. That's
No.
a good point.
they're
Dark Trooper's staying the
refunding-
same, but the problem is, because they get turn meter, you can't kill C anymore with Dark Troopers.
C gets turn meter now. So
Dark Troopers.
Dark Troopers staying the same. They're not changing him.
Yeah, and because of that, I'm going to keep Troopers I'm going to keep my Dark Trooper Relic 8 because everything else, they'll nuke the shit.
Yeah, they'll still walk over anything.
Yeah, I hope so. Again, I don't know. I mean, we don't know. So
with Sith, we'll get, if they have permanent buffs, they get turn meter, and it'll make it impossible for Troopers to kill him. However, anybody else, like I still think Dark Trooper against Darth Revan will be pretty solid because it can still one-shot Bastila, one-shot Malik, and that kind of stuff. Because Dark Trooper's still going to do his thing. They're not. The only reason they're refunding is because of the changes they did to C.
Yeah, they're not touching the Troopers.
Yeah, I hope so. I don't know. I mean, again, Relic 9's coming. Relic 9 Malik doesn't sound very good, honestly.
No, he doesn't.
If defense is going to work the way it's going to work, who knows, right? And that's kind of what I'm dreading. I know I'm jumping around the whole page right now, but
sure.
It's Luke. I think Luke is going to be okay because they're giving. So it seems like they're giving him enough offense bonuses with everything. So that one seems okay. I mean, Vader got hit pretty hard. Thrawn got hit really hard. Watt, I was using him for shield tech anyway. So, I mean, it's maybe again, the weapon tech with Vader, it's not going to be as great anymore. Vader, Thrawn, Watt probably got hit the hardest. I'm just looking at the list right now, but, Rey, it seems like Rey's whirlwind's going to hit harder now.
Yeah, relegate, yeah.
Yeah. So that's going to be a pain because it was already hitting hard. So, I mean, it's just going to hit harder now, which is, I don't think what she needed, but maybe they didn't want us to use certain counters that stack up a bunch of bonus protection to kind of avoid that, to survive the hits, which, okay, I get it. And then Sith Eternal's got the big buff, right? I mean, that's turn meter gain whenever somebody has a locked buff or something like that. Is that what it is? All Sith allies get a bunch of turn meter with that. So it's going to, again, limit the non-GL versus GL counters, which is initially what I was upset about. So, the Nukem team, Jedi Knight Revan and Vader, I think are going to get hit the hardest.
Yeah.
So again, we just got to be ready for that. Maybe that's why they're pumping more GLs into the game, so we have these counters. But it's always nice to be able to theory craft something that's non-GL, take out a GL, then you can underman something with your GLs or whatever, and maybe that's not what they want anymore, because it's apparent that they want the GLs to beat the GLs, or if you have crazy mods, and you can mod your non-GL counter a certain way, maybe you can get through the hump, but just seems like it's getting a little bit harder, and who knows what's coming down the road.
I was watching someone's stream earlier today, and there's someone posted some layouts of what counters would work and not work, The gas ones, like you were talking about earlier, they won't necessarily work, but the loop ones, they they still will work, but even with its changes. So I know that, like, like a lot of the only counters that we're losing are kind of Vader, which, like you kind of said, we weren't using anymore, and then gas, which we kind of already know that eventually gets replaced by Cam once you get Cam. So all in all, like, most of the counters are kind of staying intact.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. Dialar, you sexy bastard. Dialar using the sexy Twi'lek tactics. If you want to come join us on the stream, man, I see you're asking a bunch of questions and saying a bunch of stuff in chat, man. As I said, content creators are always welcome, man. Hit me up in Discord. Discord's linked down below. Someone link in the Discord. And if you're not in there already, hit me up, man. I'll jump you in here and you can give your thoughts and stuff on this instead of being a boo-boo kitty. It's not a bad thing because we love boo-boo kitty. She's awesome. But get your ass in here, man. I'd love to get your thoughts as we talk about this. So hit me up in Discord and I'll get you squared away, buddy, with the Zoom information. All right. I definitely want to get Gaming Geek. So Gaming Geek, get your thoughts together, buddy, because you're at a different level than we are. And so what you think about these changes and how it's going to affect you moving forward. But Thane, you're a big time well, just like me and everybody else. So, what do you think?
It's kind of like I said, like, overall, this doesn't like necessarily affect me as much. I think I was on someone else. I was watching someone's stream earlier, and someone posted in the chat saying that in GG, if you actually look up how much like non-meta, like non-GL counters were being used against GLs, and I think it was like 7%, and it had like a 74% success rate. So, when we talk about, like, we're losing out on some of these counters, I can see why CG made the change, because, like, when you look at the data, it's not impacting that much. Like, I know, like, just to us, like, it might feel that way because, like, I still use Vader, sporadically, but even now, like, like Loki, like, you've seen it, like, people putting in Jawas or like troopers in there to stop the Vader counter anyway. So it's overall, I don't mind the changes. I do like that gas, 501st is gonna be harder on defense now because I actually use them on defense, gas 501st. So I'm excited for that for sure. CLS looks like there's a new counter to beat C with the changes implemented, so that's exciting. And overall, like I said, I don't mind the changes. I mean, like I said, like, Imperial Troopers I was using to counter Darth Revan, so that's not going to be affected. So overall, these changes aren't going to affect me, at least personally, too much. So I don't mind the changes. The Vader stuff, I mean, yeah, like I said, it slightly does hurt, but I always said, like, okay, what if, the Lord Vader is an Empire, has Empire tag, and now you have double Vader, and then, it becomes impossible to beat because you have a double Vader in that team. So it's it's a catch-22, right? I don't know. I don't have as much issue with the changes. I mean, the community is smart. We'll figure it out. We'll find ways to beat these GLs with these changes. So a lot smarter than any of us here definitely figured that kind of stuff out. Let's be honest.
Let's not kid ourselves. We're smart, but there's some of these people in this community. It's like, good Lord, how does your brain work? All right, so that's our crusty old man view on this stuff. We got the Gaming Geek as a newer player, 3.6 million GP. When you saw these changes and things like that, how did this affect you? What do you think? I mean, when you read all this stuff that they were changing and things, how did it affect you? What did it affect you for your farms? All that kind of stuff.
I think the first thing I noticed that I want to talk about is that Rey's dealing 2 times massive damage on target enemy with her Sudden Whirlwind, and then SEC is getting plus 20 speed, and he's getting all that turn meter whenever an enemy gains a buff that can't be dispelled. So I feel like C versus Rey is going to be even closer match than it can usually be. Like, C is going to get his ultimate off faster with that plus 20 speed, and as well as when Rey uses when the people get in the yellow and they get that immunity, he's going to get even more turn meter to get his ultimate off as well. So I mean, I guess to me, C is just a better option right now, since he can get his ultimate out faster, and it insta kills people.
Right, but okay, so there's the GL changes, but what do you think about the changes to these other teams? I mean, as a player that's trying to climb up, does this make you want to work on these teams? Does it not make you want to work on these teams? I mean, what do you think? I mean, we know you're working for SLKR, but we always talk about do a GL, do a counter, do a GL, do a counter. I mean, does that change your whole philosophy of like how you're going to approach farming in this game and what you're going to work on?
Not really. I didn't have much of a plan past getting SLKR, and they're changing everything. I mean, all this stuff is past where it's just gonna be past. I can't articulate today.
That's okay.
It doesn't really affect me as much, to be honest, since I don't even have these characters right now. And just seeing what the meta is going to be, I can then make a even better decision about who to get now.
Okay.
After these changes are applied to these characters.
Interesting. I mean, my whole philosophy on this is, some of these I was like, that's bad. Like the Thrawn one, I was like, God, that sucks. I was like, come on. The Watt one, I was like, oh, come on. If you're gonna nerf Vader, don't nerf Thrawn. Damn, or Watt. I was like, come on, guys. But some of the other ones, like Luke and Gas, like okay, So I mean, I'm working toward Cam anyway. So eventually I was going to change Gas out for Cam for, Jedi Master Luke and stuff anyway. So that was fine. But I don't know. I try to think of this in the perspective, Loki and Thane, of like, how does this affect, the lower tier to mid tier players? And, for someone that's 3.6 million, you got, Gaming Geek saying it's not really something on his radar. What about you think about for the mid-tier players? I'd be really interested to see how they think about this. Those are 5 to 6.2 million GP, where they've got maybe a GL or two, and the way they play GAC is, it's going to flip this upside down. The biggest concern I have for how do we think this is going to affect GAC? Loki, I want your thoughts on this. If you can't initially, we don't know. Maybe it will never be. If they're going to treat GLs like raid bosses, will we be able to come up with counters for GLs? And if we can't, is it just going to be hold all your GLs because you can't take the risk? You can't put a GL on defense because if they do and you don't, and you're out, and if you mess it up, you're going to be hosed on GAC because you can't beat the GL on defense.
Right. Yeah. I mean, the jury's still out on that, and even for me, like I like to put all my GLs on defense. I mean, can I even do that anymore? But like the mid-tier player, like what you mentioned, it's going to be the guys that only have like 4 GLs, right? And we've 4 out of 6, right? Coming.
That's me.
Well, I mean, you'll have 5 out of 6, right?
Well, I don't know if they put Cam in there, Loki. I'm going to cry a lot. You're going to have to hold me.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, that's those guys that are at the top of like Division 2. You guys are already fighting. I mean, I always tease Fatal, but I mean, Fatal's got all 5 GLs, and he's like barely 7 mil GP, right? So you're going to be facing those guys who farmed accordingly, and maybe they're going to get Vader day one, and then now they got 6 GLs. You don't need those other teams anymore, right? I mean, it's kind of screwed a lot of those players that farmed those non-GL to GL counters. And relied on them because, the problem too is, in GAC, if you're going to lose to a GL, what are you going to use to clean it up? You can't use Thrawn anymore, right? That's the problem. Right. So, I mean, what are you going to do with cleanup, man? I mean, Rey's going to be a nightmare on cleanup now. So you're going to have 2 GLs in your pocket just in case you derp on the first battle. That's a big issue, man. And GAC wise, if you're a player that relies on keeping all your GLs, you better be good. You better get one shots because I don't know what you're going to use to clean them up, honestly. Maybe, I mean, you can't use troopers to clean up Sith Eternal anymore, right?
Right.
That ain't going to happen. So, does the, maybe Jedi Master Luke lead? You can still use the Revan counter. That's pretty solid. It's kind of cheesy, but that's pretty much the only non-GL counter I can think of right now that probably still works is the Darth Revan one. And then you have teams like Gas, like what we mentioned before. Gas is going to be almost like a mini GL. Gas 501.
Darth Revan against who?
I'm sorry?
What?
Darth Revan against who?
Jedi Master Luke lead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they didn't fix that. At least I don't know if they did or not.
Speaking of the dark side, look who it is. Finally, he was naked, but I told him to quit. You know, he's like, I'm drinking and I'm naked. I'm like, well, Gom does that all the time and we don't care. So if you didn't see the Jedi Academy on Saturday, Gom totally naked flashed us. We saw man flesh Saturday. But we got Dylar with those sexy Twi'lek tactics. I call his name out all the time on the GA Center. Dylar, how the hell are you, my friend?
Not too bad. I'm on officially go on holidays now, so I get an 11-day stretch off. So I was sitting here, like I said, naked and drinking, and I was like, oh, they're live.
He's not wearing pants, folks.
Yeah, don't make me stand up.
No.
Don't do that. So
women might faint, men might cry. All right.
Yeah.
Dylan, let's get your thoughts on this. I mean, you're a Division 1 player. You have, I think, 5 GLs or 4 GLs?
Yeah, I got them all. I got everything. I got all the toys.
Yeah, you have all the toys and all the things. Dylar, what do you think? But I mean, what are your thoughts, man? And as you do that, I'm going to be right back. I got to go do something real quick. Loki, take over a second. We'll talk with Dylar, and I'll be right back in 1 minute.
Yep.
So at first I was really kind of ticked off and I was demotivated and I was talking with other content creators and I was going to go on like a spending ban. I wasn't going to spend anymore. But then now that it's been a couple days or so, it's like, I'm just going to have to adapt and adjust. And, but like Loki, like I heard you saying, like, I don't know what, like I'm most ticked off that I can't use CLS on gas. Like the GLs are what they are, but the fact that some of those counters are going away, I
don't know yet. I'm just kind of speculating, but that basic, you know, all the buffs that gas will get. I mean, CLS right now it's not really a slam dunk. I mean, you can mod your gas team to kind of eat up a CLS team, but I just feel like I mean, we've all been playing this game a long time and you can kind of see at the kit, you know, so I saw you in chat asking, you know, what I thought. I don't know, man. What I would use to counter it, clean. I got no clue, man. Honestly.
It might still work, but we might lose a couple. It won't be clean anymore, right? Like, so maybe like I think TW, but GAC too, you're not going to get 55 banners or 56 banners. Maybe you're only going to get like 50 or 51, right? You're going to lose some people because he will stand up, because all of my fights always come down to, okay, this one move has to kill Echo and Arc, because Gas is going to stand up next. Well, now he's going to stand up before they're dead. So you're going to have to go 2 rounds with them, which isn't too bad because then it's only 3 on 5, but it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. One thing I wanted to add too, I'm going down the list real quick on the thread here, on the road ahead thread. One thing we didn't talk about, not a lot of people are actually talking about, is General Grievous. Because I was using Grievous for a JML counter. That ain't gonna happen anymore because it's right here. You know, the big thing about Grievous was his skittering horror. Used to be able to take 10% max health off of Jedi Master Luke, and that ain't happening anymore. So I don't know if you had a chance to look at the individual kind of, but I that one kind of stood out at me. GG against Jedi Master Luke, you know.
I was never using GG, but I know like Klesso uses troopers. I might have to invest in my Magma Trooper to make that counter up and running, right?
Magma Trooper. We're talking about Magma Trooper. Oh my god.
Well,
yeah, that does work. Yeah.
I know, but it's like, oh god.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to, because now, you know, we got so much other stuff to work on with the ship and the new GL coming. But you know, like, what are we going to use? Are we going to use C on JML? Or are we going to build up this other off-meta counter?
I think Darth Revan still works, but then that means you can't put your Darth Revan on defense, right? Which is what a lot of us like to do.
Oh, yeah.
Man, we are getting the panel of panels here, man. Look who it is. That's sexy Mo Fracky here. We got Dylar using the sexy Twi'lek tactics, and then we got the Bounty Hunter Whisper and the GAC Whisper in the same Zoom at the same time. Vance Hill, how the hell are you, sir?
I'm pretty good. Lots of whispering going on.
Yes, we're.
I mean, also, you know, I'm going down this list.
Like we're doing golf, golf.
I mean, what's your thoughts on Moff Gideon? You can't put Demoralize on the
Demoralize
GLs
is huge. Yeah.
That's a big
That's
one.
huge, man. Holy crap!
Yeah.
Oh man, so it's all these little things. I haven't heard any content creators talking about them. It's all these little things that they kind of slid in at the bottom of the.
So,
but that's huge, man.
yeah, that's a good point, especially with General Grievous. I didn't even think about that till you just brought that up. I was like, oh snap, you can't do that anymore.
Well, I was using General Grievous. I was using Grievous to beat Sith Eternal, which is not going to happen probably anymore.
So speaking of Sith Eternal, so I was looking at his buffs, and I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see him on defense now.
Yeah,
I think with that TM boost that he's going to get, you can't trooper him anymore because his whole team's just going to get loaded with turn meter because, Emperor's Trap is an undispellable buff. Rey, you can't really see Rey anymore because you're just going to make her even stronger because you're gaining turn meter. I don't even think bounty hunters are going to be able to be seen more because the stupid thing about bounty hunters is Mando, Jango, and Boba gain bounty hunters resolve at the start of the battle. So C's going to gain, their whole team's going to get 15% turn meter right off the rip.
When they get payout, then C's going to go again. So.
even when they get payout, that's another 25% TM. Yeah. So it's just like, what the heck? So
it's Kenobi, it's SLKR. You're going to have them. We don't even know what the new Lord Vader is going to be, but I mean, SLKR will still destroy C. I mean, you
still see C mirror. I think C mirror is going to be the way to go. I think on that one.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I think C on defense and 5v5 is going to be start to be a thing. I totally see that.
So, I mean, overall, we got different perspectives here from everybody here, from the low GP to the high GP, and I think I'm kind of in a wait and see. Let's just see how it plays out. I'm worried. This is my worry, and I don't know how you guys feel about this, that GAC is going to become an efficiency battle. They say they want to increase defense. I don't know how making these changes, limiting our options, makes us want to put GLs on defense. My whole thing is like, yeah, I got 5 GLs. I'm gonna put them on defense. Why the hell would I? If he goes all 5 GLs on defense, I'm hosed. I can't take the risk of that. I try to get into the mind. We all are heavy GAC players here, right? And like, the whole thing is, for me, what I don't like about this, the changes may be necessary, maybe long-term help the game. What I don't like about it is like, as theory crafters that are out there, and that we as ourselves as theory crafters and GAC players, we stream the hell out of it, we play the hell out of it. Not limiting our options, I don't think makes for good content, right? And I don't think it makes just for fun play. It's just like, who can be more efficient? Well, that's boring as balls, man. It's like, who would put GLs on defense? Because if you run the risk, you don't know what their person's going to do, and I don't know. I'm kind of concerned about how GAC is going to be affected by this. Now, I know some people don't give a shit about GAC. That's cool. I think for TB, all that other game modes, it's fine. I'm more concerned about how TW is going to play out, if it's just going to be all GLs on defense, or you keep all your GLs and GAC. Loki, what do you think, man? Looking at these changes, the less we have for GL counters, the more we have to keep GLs for counters. How do you think this is going to play in the long term for GAC?
I think it's going to be fine. If you're going to ask, if I was going to give you my opinion right now, what I think GAC is going to look like is, yes, you're going to have a lot of mirrors. You're going to have a lot of GL on GL, but where you're going to shine a little bit is, for example, if my opponent has a JMK on defense, right, and it's a fully loaded JMK, can I send a JMK in with some B or C tunes behind him and beat that fully loaded JMK, GR Jedi, whatever you got? And if I can send a JMK mirror in, but use like Ayla and use Lumi and use Qui-Gon Jinn and beat that team, that's where you're really going to shine. I think that's where the theory crafting is going to go. I think that's the only way you can really get an edge on your opponent is, yeah, we're planning on using GLs on his GLs, but I want to beat his GL with scraps, in the back behind my GLs. So then you have more meta teams, the A teams, the B teams that kind of go after the rest of his map. But I'm worried, if you don't send a strong enough GL team, like I said, what are you going to use to clean up their GL? Because,
right,
it's, a lot of these GACs, yeah, it could come down to efficiency, but it could be, I joke about it all the time when I stream my GACs. I say, my GAC could end right now on this very first battle. If I don't take this team down, that's it. I'm going to pull the plug and I'm done for the night. But now I see that happening a lot more now. If you're, JMK team can't beat their JMK team or whatever GL, what are you going to use to clean it up? Because it's sounding like the cleanup, maybe JML is the worst one on defense. I don't know, because it just seems like the Darth Rev encounter is still going to work. They haven't taken that away yet. But I mean, Ray on cleanup right now is horrible. You know, can you cheese Ray? I mean, a lot of us have tried that where you send burner teams in to kind of reduce her health, but who knows how she's going to interact now, right? With pre-taunters and locked buffs, like what Van Seal said. You know, that's what I'm dreading right now. So it can go either way. It could be an efficiency battle, or the battle, you know, basically your battle could end on the first two battles if you screw up, or if your game crashes, you know, or I don't know what you're going to spend in to clean up.
Let's not relive that shit, man. Yeah. The reason I'm not above 900,000 is because fucking crashes. God, I hate that shit.
If you got solo C up, what are you going to use to take that thing out, man, other than a GL?
Mothma.
I have no clue.
I'm serious. Mothma.
You'd like to.
That's what I use.
I hope so. I hope it still works.
Yeah.
Mon Mothma's got some locked buffs though, so that dude's gonna keep gaining turn meter.
Yeah, that's the problem now with the changes. It's like, oh no.
Oh, did you say C or SLKR?
Oh, C.
C.
Oh, C? Bounty hunters might still take it down, right?
It could, because if you can get to payout, then you can just start disintegrating.
Well, no, but what Van Seal said was you re-enter with your bounty hunters, C's going to go 100% because he's going to gain all the turn meter.
Right, because you got all those locked buffs. So
that's if you use a Django lead. Which most of the time it's going to be a Django lead.
Yeah. So
yeah, you kind of have to. So I mean, I see it both ways, Ranger. I see, very, everybody's going to keep their GLs probably the first week to kind of get their feet wet.
I am. Are you kidding me? I'm not dicking around with that. Are you? Oh my God, I'm going to be like.
So then you got the burden to. Are your B and C teams good enough to hold a defense, right?
That's right. Like, does Darth
Revan and the rest? You're gonna. Yeah, if you can keep all your GLs, you're gonna solo GL a lot of their stuff, right? I mean, that's just
you hope, right?
So,
oh God.
Or it comes down to ships, right? I mean, ships hasn't really changed, so maybe that's what it is from now on. But I'm dreading the cleanup. I'm dreading, gas 501 on defense, and then how 3v3 is gonna interact. I mean, the GLs I think are harder in 3v3, right?
Oh, by far.
So that's going to be a nightmare.
I had so many holes with Ray, Hoda, and R2 that it was stupid. I mean, I had ridiculous amounts of hole with just that. Ray on defense in 3v3 is the best GL, in my opinion. Hands down. She is a monster. You can kill her with the GL, but I've seen people try multiple ways to try to take her out. And
you can't reduce her max health anymore, right, with gas. So, I mean, we used to use JML gas, Hermit Yoda, or JML Luke, Jedi Knight Luke and Hermit Yoda. And I mean, I'm thinking about it right now, man. She's going to be a nightmare on defense.
Yeah, she's going to be nasty.
Yeah, and then now you have Cat too. So, I mean, it's like, holy crap.
God, I'm just worried about JMK and Cat and something else. It's
like, I fought a Cat in 5v5 yesterday under Ray. And I'll be honest, didn't feel like it did much to the team.
No, I don't think it does either.
No, I'm thinking like 3v3.
I took an Invader. I
think she's better under a BAM team because of the way that team interacts and stuff than it is under Ray. Because we talked about that before, right?
Yeah.
With Ray and like IG and Quill and Cat and BAM, but the more I saw the interaction, I'm like, nah, that's not really going to cut it. Especially with Vader and stuff, right? Because Vader can just get in there and just wreck shop.
But this was a resistance team with Ray. This wasn't like Ray Scoundrels. Ray Scoundrels, I think, could be
I'm
something different. But like, if you're gonna kill Ray, you're gonna kill the whole team. Like, it's not a.
If Ray goes, the team is just after that. It's just like, burn, baby, burn, Disco Inferno. So all right, guys, we have an astronomical ton of questions. I'm glad you guys are on. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and do me a favor. Go to Gaming Geeks channel, go to Dialer's channel, not Van Sale, we don't like him.
Don't go there.
No, check out Van Sale. I'm subscribed to all these guys and follow them and all this stuff. I can't normally, I try so hard to follow everybody and watch their stuff. I just can't keep up anymore. There's so many content creators. It's crazy. Like, Warrior was on Twitch today. I was like, oh shit, Warrior was on Twitch today.
Don't go follow him. He hates puppies. Don't follow him on Twitch.
Hates puppies? Oh.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah. And Meow Meow in the chat's like, look at all those dingoes. You, damn it, Meow Meow. Don't you be nice, young lady.
I have a question for you guys, actually.
Is it a good question, or are you going to fuck off and give us a poopy question?
I think it's a good question.
Okay.
Who's excited for the devs versus content creator, and who actually wants to like join in? Because I'm pretty sure, like, you know, like there's got to be like some ideas here of like you guys want to face like a certain dev or something. So what are you guys' ideas of like that dev versus content creators?
I want to beat the ass of a low GP dev and just have that under my belt.
Oh, I want to
be a dev killer.
They can put whatever they want. I just want to beat their ass and punish them for the community. I shall represent our anger.
I don't think I'm on that list, but I would love just to take in 1 or 2 bounty hunter teams against a dev team and just
smoke that.
Just that. That's it. Not a whole GAC. Just bounty hunters fight.
See, and I couldn't care less. Not gonna watch it.
Yeah, Dollar's got his own problems with his harem of Twi'leks, so yeah.
That's
and that was intense. Yes. All right, so guys, we got a boatload of questions.
Wait, what about Loki?
Loki,
do I want to fight a dev?
Yeah,
he's probably beat them all already.
I don't want to. I think Crumb admitted that he only has like 4 mil GP, so
right.
No,
Well,
it won't be as fun.
Well, I think that's the way this would work. It'd be under
He's
test
mine.
accounts. Yeah, it'd be test accounts, and we would set up our teams, and then we would rock and roll. So I give the advantage to the players because we will know what mods to. We will sit there. You know how the players are, all you guys, how we are. We will go manic. We will spend 24 hours straight rolling mods, getting characters leveled up, and then we will go in and just. We'll do stuff they have not even heard of before. Because you know, whoever those 4 players are, or 8, or whatever it turns out to be, you know they're going to talk to each other like, all right, go in there with this team and kick that ass. You know? And the devs are going to have the same thing, but they're like, I don't know, what do you want to do?
then we'll get mad at that content creator because then that team's going to get banned like the next day. Or a sync can do what? No. We're getting rid of her completely.
No, that's enough of that. Wink, wink, say no more. All right, we got a assload of questions.
Wait, I have a question for you, Ranger. One last question. If you participate, what do you think of the likelihood of you getting dodges up the wazoo, considering they can turn that dial up right before your match?
It will prove my point that the CG Illuminati have been against me since day one. It will do nothing but prove the conspiracy theory that I have, and which was proven by Chrome, that says that they do have a dial. They turned it up to 12 when I'm trying to roll mods. It will confirm everything. Like, wait a minute, this person has no evasion. How did they just dodge 12 attacks? I mean, come on, guys. Seriously.
You stun someone and they still dodge?
I know, right? Like, wait a minute. Wasn't he... I mean, I'm not an expert, but yeah, I mean... You know how that'll work for me. All right, let's get to these questions, man. They have come in hot and heavy, guys. I'm glad we have the panel here. As I said, check out these guys' channel, Dialer, you can check his channel out. Van Seal, Gaming Geek, support him. Just as a thank you to say being here and answering these questions and hanging out with us tonight. Dialer was going to get drunk and be naked, and he decided to join us, and I appreciate that. Van Seal was going to do the opposite. He was going to be sober and clothed. So he decided to join us as well. So, we have both ends of the spectrum. All right. First question. Here we go, guys. We're going to go hot and heavy. Everybody give their opinions. I don't care who answers. What else in 3 says question? How similar to Jedi Master Kenobi's requirements do you think G loves, is what they're calling it in the chat. I'm going with Angry Anakin for the new Lord Vader. But it says will be like Zam, since Jango's needed for Jedi Master Kenobi, etc. So... How do we think that the requirements are going to kind of sync up with one another? I mean, they're already different already because of Bad Batch.
Yeah,
get ready for pain.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. There's always been one GL. There's always, if you look at the GL pairs, there's always one that is way more harder than the other one, and LV is going to be the much harder one. He already is much harder because of Bad Batch already. So,
and
the thing that sucks, too, is even if they don't even if they don't require Echo and Omega, you're still gonna have to gear Echo and Omega because now you have like half a team.
Yeah.
So you got to think about that. So you kind of almost want them to include Echo, and probably not Omega, but at least Echo in those requirements, because it's like you're going to gear up 3/4 of the team and not like the best part because he's not a requirement. It's just so.
Yeah, I agree. We got to see what they do. I don't know what else they're going to do. If they're going to make it easier, tougher. I mean, and it's not just the character, it's those relics. What level of relics are they going to put on these characters that we have to farm for? You know, I mean, we say relic 7 like it's relic 7. It's not easy to get relic 7. It's still pretty tough to do relic 7s because of the scrap and all the other stuff that goes along with it. So,
yep.
Oh, goody. Stonewall question says, question, in Division 3, I can make General Luke a great defensive team since I... What? His question got cut off. What the hell?
Since what?
Since I WNT.
What about what?
Since he won?
I don't know what. Stonewall, I'm going to come back to you, but if you can clarify what you're talking about, I'll come back to you, because it looked like the question got cut off. It's like, defensive team since I WNT. What?
Yes. Yes, Watt's a good character.
Yes. All right, Lee Boca, question. Rewatching the interview, Crumb just wanted to say if GOH did that, the income would suffer. He would be 100% correct. The Gear Crunch is their bread and butter for income. They won't change it. What do you guys think about the Gear Crunch? I mean, go ahead, Dollar.
They're not changing it, but like for me at this point, like you guys, like Loki's probably feeling me on this one. It's not really gear, it's relics. Like now I'm tapped out on relic materials. So like I'm buying out of the whale store, I'm buying the cream filled donuts, I'm buying the Zimbiddles. Like that's where they're getting their money out of me. Gear isn't really a problem. It's the relic materials, because now after all these GLs, I am finally tapped out. Like I never thought it was going to happen, but now I'm finally tapped out relic materials. Now I'm looking at those relic packs going, But no, they're not touching the Gear Crunch. It is what it is, and they know that that's where all the money's coming from. So
yeah, I'm about to invest in some of those packs that are in there. They're not bad. I was like, no, it's not bad. $19.99, $29.99. I might get those. Game Geek, were you going to say something, buddy, or?
I forgot what I was going to say. So
okay, we'll move on. Okay, there we go. Gappy, question, road ahead, question mark. When did this happen? I'm sure it was nice and calm and sedated, and there were no bombshells. I better have read. What? He did the Family Guy. What? No, it is what it is. Joseph Woolno says, question, why isn't Cad Bane required for the capital ship? If this is for bounty hunters, him and his ship should be required, I would think. It's kind of a weird mixture, right, guys, with the characters and the ships.
Trying to be era specific.
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
That and they don't want to double dip with, hey, you're gonna be happy to get Cad Bane because we get him for 2 things.
Oh, there you go. See, we may be dumb, but we're dumb. Yep. All right. Travis Anderson says, question, punishing one inbound or Hondo ship?
Neither.
Neither.
Not coming, man.
Aw.
Tyler's depressed.
I want them both so bad, but realistically, probably not right now.
Okay, Psycho Drum's question was, going to relic troopers as a GL counter team after finishing SLKR tunes. Executor will be my next goal instead. Would you still recommend continuing with troopers before chasing second GL? That's the question, because we always talk about this when we did all these roster reviews. Do a GL, do a counter. Do a GL, do a counter, right? That's kind of the way we've always talked about this, but what do we do now, guys? I mean, for someone that's they're going to do a GL, do you just stick with GLs and get what you get, or do you work on some of these other teams like Gas and Darth? Where does this put these other teams like Troopers and Bounty Hunters and things of that nature? I'm really interested in what you guys think where the level of their value for someone to invest in those comes into.
I think if they're trying to make it so GLs are on their own level, just go after a GL, because that's what's going to win your Grand Arenas. Just don't even bother about the other characters. Just go straight for those GLs and those GL teams.
That makes me sad to hear that. What do you think, Dylar?
I think that if we would have asked this question 2 weeks ago, it would have been the answer that we've been giving the community this whole time. But now, the fact that they've outright stated the GLs are going to be on their own level, they're going to be like bosses, I would say that it's now we would tell new players, just go for all the GLs. Here's all the requirements. Go for them first, and only after you get all the GLs can you think about working on other teams. That's sad to say. I'd love people to be able to work on troopers, but it's going to be a GL versus GL game. If you go for the counters, but now all of a sudden your opponent has 4 GLs to your 3 or 3 to 2, you're hosed. So yeah, go for GLs is what I would tell anybody now.
Well, yeah, Vince, we know you as a bounty hunter whisperer. How do you think this affects your bounty hunter team? I mean, it's so good.
I don't think it does a whole.
It's still yeah. Bounty hunters are still really good against pretty much any other team, but GLs, man, I mean, that's your bread and butter.
So a lot of people were talking about how like defense penetration is gone, and I made that video about bounty hunters countering C with Quill, and you can get more defense penetration from that squad than any other place in the game. Now it's official because Watt is no longer a thing, but I don't know. I'm definitely going to test out C defense against a C on defense with bounty hunters to see if I can still kill C. It's not really a counter I use a whole lot. I usually use bounty hunters to kill Gas or Darth Revan. Or if there's neither, then I'll just kill Bam. But I think you're going to want to invest a little bit more into bounty hunters now, because if Gas is going to be on 501st defense, and he's going to be a lot more harder to kill because now he's standing up in 5 turns instead of 10. I think that bounty hunter counter to Gas just became a whole lot more valuable, because Gas is going to be like wait, I don't think you could do CLS against Gas anymore now, right?
I don't think so. Loki brought that up.
So.
I mean, Loki,
if you do, it's going to be really, really tough, I think.
I mean, if they're all relegate, yeah.
You're going to have to go for bounty hunters because the new ship is going to be the meta. So
there's that too. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I'm really excited for that one. So, so I don't think it really does much for lower squads like bounty hunters. I think like maybe you just might want to invest them a little bit more, just to make sure you are clearing, because you're not going to have any teams for GLs anymore at this point, I guess. So.
Yeah, it's a good observation. Joseph will know again. He says, question, I've had some people argue that the road ahead is the beginning of the end of SWGOH. What do you guys think about this opinion? I think we aren't at the end, but I've only played a year. We've heard this a million times. It's not the end. This game is going strong. There's going to be some people, and I saw it in my guild today, that are just retiring. That it's the end of the line, but they probably were considering quitting anyway, in my opinion. And this is the straw that broke the camel's back. Loki, I mean, I don't know how things are. You're in call. I'm going to go around to everybody, but I mean, how do you think this is going to affect? We've heard the sky is falling before. This is the end of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Lo and behold, almost 6 years later, the game is still rocking and rolling. I mean, the company's making a profit every month off this game. Loki, is the sky falling? Is this the end of the road for Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes?
No, not at all. Not at all. There's just, we're used to, and Dial Thane. I mean, you guys are in, Shadowlands and Maul, and it's I just feel bad for the officers, I guess, in the guilds that have come up with these guides and videos and stuff to show these non-meta counters off, and and teaching everybody these counters so we can all be better players. But so a lot of those are going to go away. I heard Zareth and Solo talking about, oh, what does this do to our counter sheet? Well, I mean, maybe about a third of your counter sheet's probably not going to work anymore. I don't know. But I don't think it's I don't think it's going to end the game, man. It's, if anything, it's going to get the creative juices, I guess, flowing again. If anything, I mean, if you're going to ask me what is going to ruin this game right now, it's Relic 9 and where are they going to put Relic 9?
Right.
I'm not worried about the counters because, again, we got GLs, the counter GLs at a minimum. And, it sounds like Darth Revan Watt can still counter JML lead unless they change JML some magical reason. So, yeah, I mean, maybe 2 GLs got better and worse for countering. Gas 501st got a lot better. If you're going to plan on taking an A team in, maybe the only counter is bounty hunters now. I don't know. That's going to be something we have to figure out as a guild, as players, as theory crafters. But if anything, I wouldn't jump ship yet. I would figure out where they're going to put Relic 9 and find out what the hell that thing's about. Because I could totally see, top guilds, players trying to jump to other guilds to get Relic 9 faster, right? I mean, that's what I think ruins guilds, is when they put something in a game mode where, you either got to win or you got to be at a high level to obtain the materials for Relic 9. So that's the one I'm scared of the most, if anything. Yeah, I don't know how anybody else feels.
Well,
on the panel.
I'm going to ask, the rest of the guys, but let's go to Gaming Geek real quick, because you're not even sniffing Relic 7, Relic 8, or Relic 9. I mean,
I got Relic 7s, a few just for Kylo. Like, I got Crew and Palpatine at Relic 7. That's it, really.
So when you see Relic 9 come into the game, what was your thoughts when you first heard Relic 9, when you're not even sniffing Relic 8 right now?
Fuck. That was my reaction. That was honestly my reaction. I mean, it's not going to affect me. No one else in my Grand Arena shard or my Arena shard right now has Relic 8s. It's all Relic 7s. And I rarely see... There's twice I saw a Supreme Leader Kylo Ren in a Grand Arena. So...
Okay. Interesting. Dialer, what do you think, buddy?
Is it the end of the game? No. Like, I know... In Shadowlands, I haven't seen any scuttlebutt on anybody retiring over this. I've seen a lot of people kind of get a little bit depressed, like especially us. Like we plan so heavily for every TW match, and now it's kind of feels like it's a moot point. But an easy fix, CG, if you're listening, would be expand the TW map for us big guilds. That would be awesome. Expand it now. You have it in the template because it used to be expanded. So. But it's not the end of the game. It's changing, and I agree with the defense penetration thing. As we get Relic 9 and 10, it would become untenable as players or as tunes progressed. And they had to rip the Band-Aid off. It sucks. It does, but we will adapt. It's a new era. The game's not going anywhere. It's, if anything, I think it's still in a healthier place than it was a year ago, for sure. Because a year ago we were all thinking it was 100%. So
yeah, we were like, okay, that talk was happening. I'd say a year and a half ago, right after Rey and Kylo came out. I mean, this game was in trouble, and then Mando came out, Grief came out, and then they did the rework of Vader, and then Jedi Knight Luke event came, and then it was like, okay, it's been like this smorgasbord stuff afterwards. Vancel, end of the game?
No, not at all. So CG's made it very, very clear that they care about GAC, and all the big changes they've made so far this year have been for GAC. There was nothing in the road ahead that said we're doing this for the arena. No, they're not doing it for the arena. They're doing it for GAC. So they care about GAC. They know everyone loves GAC. That's where the money's at. That's what everyone loves about this game. And I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about it. I think at first it's gonna suck, but once we see what they said, the end of the year is gonna be crazy. So I trust them. They said they're really excited. We're going to be surprised with whatever characters we get at the end of the year. So I don't know what that means, because
Dad bod Boba Fett. Mark it down, Vancil.
Well, I think outside of that, I think it's going to be stuff like we weren't.
The other Dad bod Boba Fett. You're getting two, Vancil.
Two dads. Yeah, there we go. But no, I'm not worried about it. I think Relic 9 is a little bit early. I was expecting Relic 9 to be in December, a year after Relic 8. But I don't know what CG has planned with Relics, because obviously there's a Relic 10 floating around somewhere. So I don't know. I think like kind of ripping off like a Band-Aid scenario, just get it over with, and growing pains basically. Just get used to it, I guess. I don't know, but is it the end of the game? Not at all. Not at all.
Thane, is the sky falling?
No, I mean, we've talked about this before. We always hear people retiring, but we never hear about all the players that are coming into the game.
So many new players, it's ridiculous, man.
How many times do we are people on the stream and you say hey, I just started, or I'm a month in, or I'm a year in, and I'm now looking into streaming, into the streamers and stuff. So we're getting all these new characters, and they just revamped the starting of the game, right? They're giving away Dark Trooper and Gideon, at the beginning of the game, they're giving away Anakin. They spent a lot of time, they kind of focus on different areas at one time, right? They focus on the beginning, they focus on the middle. Right, and they're kind of focusing on the end game part of it, a lot of this stuff, these counters and stuff. It's kind of rebalancing the end game of it a little bit. So, no, it's some people like you said, Ranger. Some people are already probably considering leaving. and this was just kind of like the thing that was like, okay, well, you know, like just nudge them over the edge. But for the most part, like at least in my guild, I'm not seeing anybody quitting. I'm not seeing anybody like discouraged. Like if anything, everybody seems excited. You know, they're like, okay, well, that happened. So where do we go from now? Like, what's the new modding look like? What's the new team compositions look like? Right. We're already thinking about like, okay, what do we got to do to kick ass? You know, we're not even thinking about like, okay, like, you know, this sucks. Like maybe like there was like, you know, a few times where it's like, oh, you know, like what the hell? But then after that, it's kind of like, you know, we're back to, all right, well, how do we
adapt and overcome? Yeah, there you go. All right. Next question, Lee Boca says, Crumb also mentioned the issue with live PvP throwing matches to help the other account with rewards. Feelings on that reasoning? I don't think anybody here gives a shit about that, do we?
I don't think it was live PvP. It was more of you get to set up with your friend or someone from your ally code to have a GAC. But he said we can't do that because someone could throw the match and just can farm rewards that way, I guess.
Just make it so it's for fun.
Yeah. He also said that they could just make it for fun too.
Yeah,
right. I'd say that in the same breath.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't care for the rewards, and if they make that for fun, that would be awesome to do. But you know, don't hold your breath because it's been 6 years. So
yeah.
All right, Gundam with a couple things. He has kind of okay, let's see here. Question. Gundam says, question, has anyone realized that the bounty hunter fleet with Executor is incomplete? We are still missing 2 bounty hunters from episode 5, Zuckuss and Forlome. We could get those. I mean,
I think their schedule is full with characters right now, like Lord Vader, and then I bet they have a few characters after that.
I still think we're gonna get some ship content coming here, guys. I really do. I think after Maul, we're going to get a ship. I don't know if it's
I think we're gonna get another capital ship because I think they're gonna add a light side capital ship.
I think we're gonna get
balance it out.
But I also think we're gonna get a bunch of marquee ships and stuff. I still think we're gonna get A wings and B wings and breakfast cereals and orangutans and everything under the sun for ships, and they're gonna start rounding out some of the stuff like we've been begging for since forever.
Ships 3.0.
You know, can we get some goddamn tanks for First Order and Resistance, please? God, Jesus, please, baby Jesus, can you do that?
You're going to be able to use Vader in that team too, right? It's going to have Empire synergy as well.
Yeah.
It'll be cool. Yeah.
The Drummer Freak 79 says, question, thanks for all you guys do. Well, you're welcome, my friend. Glad to hear you say that. It says, with Relic 9 incoming in the new forum post today, said no immediate plans for pilotless ships, ship boost. Are they saying that this GL ship will stop get 2 fleets? Good observation.
Malevolence for sure.
Yeah. But malevolence. Malevolence. You got destroyed. All right. I think this ship's going to be OP. That's why I did the video with Cubs. Loki, I mean, looking at the requirements and everything, I think this ship's going to kick the shit out of the fleet, man. What do you think?
I mean, the bounty hunter fleet's good already. Like, I mean, I use it with Radis and Mon Calamari and whatever, man. Like, I use it with other capital ships. So, I mean, this is just a dedicated one with more breach synergy. It's only going to get better. My only complaint with the entire bounty hunter lineup, and I'm actually done with them. Like, I mean, I relic 7 pretty much all of them, and I got relic 8. Bam, Boba, and Bosk, but
you're sick,
the
man.
IG 2000 is the weird one because it needs droid allies, right? Like so unless they do a rework there and make it say other droid or bounty hunter allies gain half these amounts, that's going to be a crazy. Like it's good right now. Like I think it's very good. It's only going to get better, and then if they do a minor rework on IG 2000, I'll be ready to go. I'll be super happy with it because to get through tanks, ignore taunt with Razor Crest and start marking everybody and then get to payout. It's good, man. So I'm very excited for this ship and I hope it works well.
All right. Anybody else with thoughts on the OP-ness of this new capital ship coming out?
They need to fix the pilot ships, though, man. They need to scale them.
They kind of do. Yeah.
They need to do that before Relic 9 becomes more abundant. But yeah, no.
I think that's the easy fix, though, right? The easy fix is just have it scale with whatever capital ship you got, and that's it.
Exactly. Yeah.
They use the same method that they do with Grievous right now, right? So Grievous summons vulture droids that scale with Grievous. So all you gotta do is have the pilotless ship scale with the capital ship, and it's
not even that.
Deal.
Like some of the ships, like like the TIE bomber, it gets stats based on how many Empire characters you have. Just increase that stat with the unique, and then I think you're fine. But yeah, but Loki was saying about the bounty hunter ship though, fleet. I use it as well, and like Loki said, it's only gonna get better because I use it with Akbar, and even if like let's just say worst case scenario, Executrix is just awful, I'll just go back to what I'm using now. So
right.
And what I'm using now is fine. Like I there's not a negotiator fleet I can lose to. So just like I'm all open for more synergy. So
okay.
I'm a little worried again. They said this is gonna breach synergy, but like what you said, Van Seal, if I want to use if I want to use Piet's capital ship with an Empire fleet, is he going to be also a very good Empire, commander? We don't know.
I'm sure he's probably going to be usable. No, they don't do breach. No.
Yeah.
But, or at least the ones we have right now. I don't know if maybe they'll introduce maybe like a TIE defender with breach or something. I don't know.
Right. The other thing they could do with the let's say bomber, right, is they could put a the summoned ally from Mon Mothma, just give the bomber some dice and maybe level him up or something, and then maybe one of his abilities is he does breach, right, or something like that. And that's another easy fix that CG can do for the pilotless ship, is it just gets stronger every time it sits in battle. The longer it sits, then you roll the dice and it upgrades itself, right? So that's all there, and I'd be good with that as well. I'm just thinking easy fixes because you know how CG is right now. They got all their resources tied up in other pieces of the game. That I think they could easily do that.
All right. Next question from our boy Ziglet, who's not in hate form. I just want to point that out. He's not haunting anybody right now. It's this question: since they paywalled Razor Crest, should I say F to Maul and finish Razor Crest? That's a great question. Do you finish Razor Crest or you go for Kenobi?
How did they paywall Razor Crest?
With the packs.
Right, but he's gonna be like super free to play right now.
I know, but I'm just saying before, if you want to get Razor Crest sooner, I guarantee you they're going to throw a pack in there if you're close to try to finish. That's how come I have a 7-star Razor Crest. It's because I had been investing and I was close, and I'm like, well, it makes sense for me to get the damn pack.
So. I would go for the character over the ship. I mean, it really depends on how close you are to finishing Razor Crest, but it's good at 5 stars. It's good at 5 stars. It's ready to go at 5 stars. I mean, you really only need it 6 or 7 if you really want to put that bounty hunter fleet together.
All right. Dylar had a question for Loki. Ooh, kinky. He says, Loki, from our man using the Twilight tactics. Don't be fooled, Loki. It's harem versus harem here on this question. He says, what do we figure we are going to use as a gas counter? C mirror?
I don't know, man. Bounty hunters sounding good, but I don't know. Bam. I think Bam was a counter at one time. Van Seal can probably think of something with Bam. But I mean, again, if gas is standing up really quickly now, and even Darth Revan's going to be a problem.
Yeah, 20%.
Jedi Knight Revan's going to be a problem because Luke again is not going to hit as hard as he did, and gas is going to be buffed up. So I mean, I don't know at this point. You might need a GL for gas. I don't know because now guys are probably going to remod, Rex to be like 330 speed and you're going to have I mean, dude, here's the problem. You're going to have Relic 9.5s at one time, right? It's coming. And Relic 9.5s, you ain't killing 5. So you almost have to kill.
Well, it's not about killing 5. But here's the thing. His stats when he sacrifices goes to the other clones. If he's
Correct.
Relic 9.
Yeah, I know.
God help you.
Honestly, guys, I'm not even worried about this road ahead. It's Relic 9, man. Yeah. Van Seal showed me a screenshot of his JMK team with Clone Wars Chewbacca and Vandor right now.
Rake Blood right now with Clone Wars Chewie.
Dude, what are you going to do if you see an L3 at Relic 9? What are you going to do if you see Malik at Relic 9?
It's going to be Vandor at Relic 9, dude.
What are you going to see with GK at Relic 9, man? I mean, you can't kill him.
You might consider using Nihilus and Cat just for the insta kill.
Yeah, but you only have so many of those with those insta kills with Django. I'm sorry, with Mando and Nihilus and Cat. that takes care of 3 teams. There's still, for us, like 7 to 8 teams we still have to kill to get through this shit. It's really, it makes my
yeah.
itch.
I mean, Dylar, I have no clue, man. Your guess is as good as mine. I think.
Well,
there has to be a Padme cat team, maybe, or the bounty hunter team, right, with an instant kill. And
at least with the bounty hunter team, like it is a pretty big investment because if you want to get like a 58 or 59 on there, it's never a 60, but it's always like a 59.
And you still run the risk of losing. Like you can annihilate gas, fine. You still run the risk of the other clones beating down your team.
That's what I was going to say. The only guarantee
so hard.
You are guaranteed to kill gas, but if you do take your bounty hunters to R6, R7, and put them well modded, it can be an easy 57, 58, 59. But at least you kill gas, so that means you can go in and 2-shot it. You know what I mean? Like getting gas out, I think, is the big thing right there.
Well, here's another question that leads. This is a really good question from Jay. He says, question, will Newt lead extortion minus 30% speed and fracture minus 50% speed become a new GL counter? What did you say?
No, because they're still gaining turn meter.
That's a problem. They're still getting turn meter.
You can't lock them down like fracture. Right?
No.
That's the reason why fracture was so good.
They specifically talk about the GL fracture with the Newt lead with the extortion minus 30% speed, and then if they get fractured, minus 50% speed. But I don't know how that's going to play with Newt lead. I'm not feeling it. Nathan H. question, with 3 team members nerfed, what will happen to my Jedi Master Luke squad? Ooh, that's the one that we haven't really talked about. I kind of feel Jedi Master Luke kind of got the shaft here with all this stuff. And what do you guys think?
It depends on what you're using it for. I use a Jedi Master Luke team without any of those characters on it to kill Rays. So Loki probably uses the same one. He knows what I'm talking about. It's the Shock T, Jolie, GMY, and I'm spacing on the 5th one. That team's unaffected. You're still gonna be able to kill Ray.
You should be able to. I'm worried about Ray's buffs, right? Her whirlwind's gonna hit just a little bit harder now to eat through the protection.
You might have to have Hermit.
It will.
JML.
Yeah,
it's gonna. But you have to eat that one ultimate, right? You just gotta kill her before the second.
Yeah.
I
have no clue, man. But I mean, I said it at the beginning of the stream that I think JML got the worst of it because you can still use a non-GL counter against JML if you put JML on defense. You can use Darth Revan. I mean, it's a hard lock.
Also remember though, Loki, JML is going to benefit from R9 if defense is a stat.
Yeah.
That again, that's what I'm worried about. I'm not worried about this road ahead. I'm worried about the road ahead of this one because they are going to do R9. They are going to break down the defense and how that scales up. And defense is going to be crazy, man. I think you're going to see Rey with defense mods on at least one set. I mean, if you can get her to soak up damage more, because she can take hits, and all the tanks now, right? All the tanks are going to have defense sets, all of them. And that's going to be the way it is. I think Relic 9.5s with a bunch of defense on them is going to be nuts. Defense primaries, right? They made it really clear that defense is very important. This time around. So we'll see a lot of defense primaries probably. We'll probably see people, we'll see tunes that'll use defense. Maybe their offense is based off of the percentage of defense they have, So it's that's what I'm worried about, man.
All right. Lord Wick 45 with a couple questions. So what are your thoughts on C3P and R2 being a requirement for Vader build? Because Vader did build C3PO, right? And we know R2 went everywhere with him. Do we think those two could be added to the requirements for Lord Vader?
I could see them being requirements. I would think only one of them because they're going to use their slots
C3PO,
of, characters very carefully. I think R2 because he was there during the Battle of Mustafar more than C3PO was.
Yeah,
that's how I feel at least.
That's an interesting thought. I hadn't really thought about those two droids. We'll see. Wouldn't be surprising. I don't think anybody here on the panel will be surprised if those two made an appearance. Lord Wick, the next question says, how do you think Relic 9 is coming to the game? My thoughts is Conquest. Well, yeah, I think Conquest is yes. But the other thing is, hello, new hat raid.
Yeah, that's going to be it.
No.
it's gonna be a Sith trio challenge mode.
I don't think we're gonna get any raid. I think they're just gonna do a C pit tier 2. I don't think they've had the time to work out a heroic version of the hat raid.
Mythic.
Considering how many bugs that raid had when it first launched. Yeah, I think we're gonna get tier 2. Or Conquest. That'd be cool, Conquest, I guess, because it's free technically.
Now, Dialar, you got to head out, brother. I appreciate you hanging out with us a little bit. Any thoughts on this? And before you go, give us your thoughts on this and pimp your stuff, man. We got to get everybody to come join your channel and follow you and stuff.
All right. Well, I do think it's going to be the hat raid. I think that's going to be the easy one. They've probably been working on it for a bit now already, knowing that that's coming. And then the next gear or relic 10 is going to be Sith raid, and that one's going to be hell. But that's my thoughts. Dialer's Twilight Tactics on YouTube and Twitch. For Twitch, mainly for GAC's, YouTube for all the guides.
There you go.
Thanks for the invite.
You're always welcome, brother. You don't even have to ask, man. Just say, I want to pop on. You're always welcome, man.
Well, thank you.
All right, Dollar. Salute. Thank you for being here, my friend. All right, let's continue to rock and roll. Nathan H's question, how will these changes affect us in TB? I mean, TB gets a little bit... The only TB we got to talk about is goddamn Lightside TB. I mean, Darkside TB is Darkside TB, but Lightside TB is where the money's at. Thane, Lightside TB, give me your thoughts. Relic 9, these new characters, changes. What do you think?
I'll definitely make some stuff easier for sure, especially on the last phase. You know, for that, what is that called? That Nexu mission? Mm-hmm. So that Nexu mission will probably be a lot easier. The cam mission is the cam mission. You know, that's not really going to help.
Let's not talk about that. Yeah.
You know, they said they're going to do a bad batch on that one, so that'll probably get through it. But yeah, I mean, the last phases will probably make some of these missions a lot easier. Relic 9 will probably give you a nice boost to pilots, so that'll probably get us a little closer to getting that extra couple of stars in fleet. So, you know, overall it'll probably be probably just make it easier. So it depends on how much. Depends on what the GP increase is from one to the next. You know.
All right. Anybody else thoughts on this?
It's definitely gonna make using, like what you guys said. It's gonna be way easier just to get past those battles using gas now that he gets up faster.
Oh yeah, gets up faster, more protection.
Ray doing way more damage.
I agree. Nathan H says, question, will any of these changes help us or hurt us with the Crank Core? I think it's going to help us. I mean, it's just, even though Vader got the nerf with his saber, he still does more damage and stuff, and then the other characters will be a little bit better. What do you think, Loki? What do you think about these changes, or anybody else who wants to jump in?
I mean, gas outside of a 501st team is always going to hurt a little bit, I think, because you can't reduce. But I mean, you can't reduce the max health of the raid boss anyway, so it doesn't matter.
No.
So I don't see any change there. Jedi Knight Luke,
more offense, hits harder, with that,
he should hit harder, and ignore defense doesn't matter either. Vader, again, I don't see a big change in it. I think he's going to do what he does in phase 1. I don't see any really changes in the raid. Going back to Lightside GOTB, I think the gas mission is going to be easier. The one with just gas and snips, I think that's going to be a lot easier. And the only thing that could hurt this is just it doesn't even matter because the raid is the raid. Like the raid boss is already so no, it should be fine. I don't see any issue with it.
All right. Boris Balkan says, question, was that 12 ounces of bourbon and 1 ounce of Coke? Yes. That's the proper ratio that you want to have when you're drinking bourbon. Lee Boca, my man, says, question, 3.5 million GP. No GL, but let's see, RLC 5 out of 7, Darth Revan, Padme, CLS, Janet Revan, Geos, Vader teens, able to set a fairly stout defensive wall and enough left to pound through GL. Now I'll have to avoid GL and hope for banners. See, this is the question I'm wondering about. We talk about GSC at our level, right? if someone who's an early GP or mid-tier GP runs into that because they've worked on Darth Revan and Gas and all these other teams, these counters, and they run into a GL, what the hell do they do? Like, I mean, what is their option here? Because if
I can kind of speak on this since I didn't listen to you about building my roster and my GAC.
You son of a...
My GAC history is very rocky, but you just have to go for a GL, at least one.
Yeah.
At least one, and then after you get to the first one, I would say consider going for the one that's easiest to get right after that, because CG's made it very clear that you need GLs, and I was always anti-GL, and Ranger could attest to this. My GAC sucked. Like, it sucked because it's like you lose by like just a couple banners. So you gotta if you can't beat them, join them, kind of a thing.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the mentality. If you can't beat them, join them, and then if more counters come along the way, we'll tell you guys.
Having a GL, there's no downside to having a GL. You'll do better in the raids. You'll do better in TB, TW. Like, it just sucks because there's such a long farm, and half the time there's characters in there you don't want. You don't want to farm them, and they usually just sit on your roster for the rest of the time. But then once you get that GL, you're happy. You're happy you got them. Yeah. So you just kind of have to do it, unfortunately.
You hear that, Gaming Geek? You have to do it.
Because I
refuse.
I would love to gear up like, what's his name? The Piggy, the green guy, Good Morning Guard. I'd love to gear up Good Morning Guard. I have ideas for him, but those ideas have been on the back burner for like 2.5 years.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, Travis Anderson question says, anyone else have a problem with mod capacity? Every character I have has mods, and only with speed. I mean, we've been begging forever. It's something we've talked about religiously here, that we need more space for mods. But the thing is, well, then if we give you 500 more mods, you'll just keep more mods in your inventory and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but you've increased the number of characters we have to have and that need mods, and we have to roll mods, and we have to work on mods. So as you increase the characters, we have to keep more hoarding of mods to keep working on them to slice. And it's not like we can slice all the mods in one day unless we're spending a small fortune. I don't know. I think we need more mod capacity. How does the rest of the panel feel about this? I just think it's overdue.
I think a few more characters, then it'll really be needed.
Yeah.
And you'll really be maxing out that inventory. Like,
it's crazy. I mean, I'm constantly pulling mods and slicing them and stuff, and then some, like, that are green or blue that I still need to slice because they could still hit, especially with the changes from 6E to 6A. It's like, they still have some good opportunities. I just need to slice and see what happens. It's like, but, trying to come up with, it's 500 is not enough. I mean, even if you put all the mods on characters, it's still not enough. We need a little bit more room. I'm not asking for 500, but give me 250. I'm okay. Give me just 250. Give me 100. Just give me something. Jesus Christ. I mean, something. Am I on crack here, guys? You guys, if I am, you could say, Ranger, you're on crack. You've gone full stickiest to the ickiest.
What you're saying makes sense. I mean, people higher up are just going to need more mods. That's the reality.
I like being right. All right. Bodjansky 13 says, question, what would you advise a new player to do after they stabilize their account? Which GL to go for first? Is it be more valuable to go for Executor to stay on top of fleet for crystal income? That's a really good question. With Executor coming in, a lot of new players go for ships to try to get, because they just can't keep up with the whales when they first start that are going for new characters. I always say get SLKR, and then Loki, I think you had a good observation of getting C right afterwards, because they're pretty solid, easy to get, and you can use C to climb an arena, SLKR to do all the rest for like raids and stuff like that. Is there any deviation from that, Loki, from your initial thoughts now with the changes and stuff like that? Do you go for the new Executor? What are your thoughts?
No, I think it's still, if your plan is to get to be able to beat the current GLs. I mean, C is beating them, to climb an arena, and then whatever fleet you can get. I guess Separatist fleet would probably be the number one, or the easiest. Unless there's an easier one, but I think Separatists can beat everything right now. And then if you need to solo the raids or do any PvE, I think Kylo is still good. So I just don't see, unless you're in for the long haul and you can wait, then you can go for your JML, you can go for your Ray, but you know, you're going to be missing some. I mean, you're not going to be doing well in the raids with those GLs, unfortunately. JMK again is the weird one now, right? I mean, JMK can solo the raids just like SLKR, so maybe you just go that route now. I don't know. I don't know what's better or not. Yeah. But the requirements on JMK aren't pretty either, right? You need Wat Tambor, you need some crazy you know, end game guild stuff to farm him early, right? So I think C and SLKR are the way to go right now. SLKR first, then maybe C, just so you can climb arena, you know?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I think you can still, I mean, you can climb arena with SLKR, don't get me wrong, but again, you need the Wat Tambor, you need the armor and stuff like that. But yeah, that's what I would do personally.
All right. Here's a great question from LC. He says, great show again, guys. Thank you very much. He says, do you think the new Conquest characters, Maul and Cat, will be the only GL counters CG allows? Maybe they're trying to get community to invest in new tunes. That's a good question. What do you guys think? Thing, what do you think, buddy? As you're on your way to your women.
What was the question? Repeat it one more time. Just so I know exactly what you're asking.
I mean, if you were paying attention instead of paying attention to your women, that you would know what I was saying. Elsie, I'll read it again just for you, Thane, because I like you, Thane, even though you've abandoned me. It's fine. Elsie says, do you think the new Conquest characters, Maul and Cat, will be the only GL counter CG allows? Maybe they're trying to get the community to invest in newer tunes or new tunes.
I mean, that's always kind of been the case, but I think they're starting to kind of differentiate the difference between, like, you know, Galactic Legend and, you know, Epic Confrontation and Legendary. Because I think that they're kind of settling on Galactic Legend being, like, the end, like, you know, the highest tier. Because we've always complained about, you know, like, we always complain about, like, you know, how, like, Bam and Ray, they're like, oh, they're not CLS caliber, right? And we kind of have this expectation of, like, you know, if a character has a certain ranking, like, you know, whether it's Hero Journey, Legendary, Epic Confrontation, now with Conquest characters, they should be of a certain caliber, right? So I think that this is, like, kind of, like, their first steps into going that. Because, like, for instance, Gas, right? Gas should be harder to take down and harder, a harder team to beat than CLS. CLS should not be able to beat Gas, right? Because CLS is like a, you know, year one, you know, Hero's Journey character, where Gas is like a year 4, you know, Epic Conference.
I know, right? Getting that Chewie sucked balls, dude.
That's true, but the point is, like, you know, I think they're trying to, like, rebalance it. So I think that's, you know, as far as, like, counters and stuff like that, you know, I don't know, like, you know, like I said, the changes aren't that major. Like, I know, like, in our heads, like, we kind of have, like, that knee-jerk reaction of thinking, like, oh, you know, like, they just changed everything. But, you know, it's, I don't know. Like, I mean, as of right now, like, you know, the changes don't seem that drastic, at least to me. So we'll just see how it plays out.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. All right, next question. Well, 23 has been a little cheeky, and I like it. It says, do you think CG should do an annual, in quotations, closing the game because it's the end sell? Since it seems like about every year this kind of thing happens and people say that. Sunday. Come on in, everybody. We're having to close the end of the year sale as Capital Games and see Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Come buy your smacky spawns and all the gear that you'll never use again. Nah. No, get out of here. What else 23? They put that sell out. No one's going to buy shit because they're thinking the game's ending. Get out of here. Like, I'm going to spend money on a game that says it's going to end? No. I don't know. I mean, would you guys spend money on a game that was about to close?
If it was a few cents and I could finally get
like
9 million GP at that point, yeah, I would.
I could take my bounty hunters to R10, I would.
Just to say I did it. Oh God, it's ill. I'm gonna have a little talk to you about bounty hunters, family. This is getting a little drastic. All right, Bod against this question: is JMK a viable first GL if you're in a high-end guild?
Yeah,
I think so. Yeah,
yeah, I think so.
He's so good because what makes JMK so good is you're going to farm and get Jedi Knight Luke as well, who's so good. And then the team with CLS and Mon Mothma and then JMK himself and some of the characters. This is a really good farm. It's just such a long farm. But if you're in a high-end guild, I don't think anybody in the panel is going to say don't do that, right? Well, the silence says it all. Man, say get him. Say man.
Wait, what's Jill?
Yeah, because you said Mon Mothma, you said JMK,
Yeah.
and I'm like, wait, what?
No,
Who are we talking about?
You get those teams from farming Jedi Master Kenobi. So yes, you get teams like
you don't get Mon Mothma from Jedi Master Kenobi.
Well, you get her from it, right? Because if you're gonna work on Jedi Master Kenobi, you're gonna get Jedi Knight Luke, and the requirements for Jedi Knight Luke are part of that, right?
No. That you're thinking Jedi Master Luke.
Jedi Master Luke, and then Jedi Knight Luke.
You were saying Kenobi. You were saying
you were talking Kenobi.
Oh, did I say Kenobi? Sorry, I'm tired.
Yeah.
I've been streaming too much today, and I'm tired, and I've been drinking.
Like, wait,
so
what?
what? No, but Jedi Master Luke, you get Jedi Knight Luke, Mon
Yeah,
Mothma,
you get a bunch of stuff out of that.
CLS, the baby Jesus, Lord Satan. I don't know what other teams you get from that, but if you're in a high end guild and you're getting good stuff, why wouldn't you, right? Can anyone give me a negative counter to this? Why you wouldn't go for that?
I think you kind of have to if you're in a high end guild. Like you should have AGL.
There you go. All right. All right. Let's see here. What else? 73 says question for a while. Gas 501st was accounted for Jedi Master Kenobi. No Cat. Is that going to come back as an option? I don't know. Cat is a game changer, guys. Do we think Gas with the changes versus JMK and Kitty Cat, Knick Knack, Paddywhack can counter that? I don't think so.
Because Gas dies, right?
Yes, he dies.
Yeah, Cat turn 1 is going to kill Gas. So
It's like
I don't see how that works.
No.
So no.
Like, haha, I've come in with my clones to defeat you. I'm dead. All right. Well, team, hope you can beat it. Lord Wick 45 question. What if Relic 9 gets released into Ship Arena to get more people engaged in ships?
Yes, please.
I didn't think of that possibility.
I don't think it will, but that'd be kind of cool. I'd be happy with that.
Sorry, I'm just vegetating on that. Let me think on that some more. I'll get back to you on that, Lord Wick. Durgan Gurgan, oh Christ, here we go. The Stalker in the Woods has got a question for us. The Woodmaster says, question, is it weird if Gom and I touch wrenches?
Yes.
You think it's weird? I don't think it's weird.
Only if you guys are holding his banana.
I mean, if it's platonic, is it weird?
Just the fact that they are touching is weird.
I mean, if you play swords with another man, is it weird? I don't think so. I think you're okay. All right. Goliath question: could CG make a zone on the back walls of GAC TW where GLs would only be placed on defense? This would limit the number of teams we would have to hold for offense and stop FU defenses. Oh boy, I don't like the option of limiting players on what they want to put on offense or defense.
Yeah, I don't either, because every guild is different too, and matchmaking is awful sometimes.
That's the other thing they need to address is matchmaking, guys.
Yeah,
because this is going to be a big problem. If you've this last round, I faced someone that had 3 GLs, I had 4. Just saying, if it's the new.
Oh, and in TW, that translates to a guild having 30 to 40 more GLs than one other guild.
Yeah, it can happen because not everybody's doing TW now because the guilds have pretty much gone lax. Like it's just TW. Whoever joins, and whatever matchmaking because they've given up on it. It feels like the people in TW is like, whoever wants to do it, and then whatever matchup we get, who cares?
I mean, I use TW to practice my GL counters.
Sure.
I mean, I hate to say that selfishly, but as long as I win, then I don't get in trouble with the guild. But that's literally what I do. I literally go through all the GLs. I look for one that looks like I'm going to face in GAC, and I'm like, all right, I'll go after that one.
When you lose, do you apologize to your guild for your nonsense?
Nope, I don't lose. I just send in another team as quickly
as
possible.
You lose! Get out of there, Vince Sale. You lose. Don't play around. You've lost. Get the hell out of here. Goliath says, we did that one. Durgan Gurgan says, wouldn't the Space Whale's capital ship have been a better for breach mechanics? He's talking about the end of Rebels.
I like that.
Do we really want space whales in the game, though?
Only problem is there's no pilot.
Ezra, he's using the Force.
Right,
Damn
you
it.
could have Ezra as like the character you need to gear up.
He's the admiral of the space whales.
I like that. That's a good idea.
All right. Nathan H says, question, should I start farming defensive mods? I'm going to say no, and here's why. Just do your regular farm. You're going to hit an ass ton of defense. I am a living example of this. I hit defense so much. I have mods sitting there that have so much defense I don't know what to do with them. I have a plethora of defense. It's not a stat I'm worried about and or mods that I'm worried about because I have so many mods that have hit stupid amounts of defense. I mean, if you roll mods enough, we always joke, but it's not really. What stat's the best? Defense. Why? Because that goddamn thing hits all the damn time. It doesn't matter what mod I have. The mod could not have defense on it and it hits defense. That's how bad it is. So I don't think you need to worry about that. Let's see here. Nathan H says, question, will Ranger no longer be able to complain about hitting on defense? Get out of here. Shame on you. You get the hell out of here. Jay says, question, think Farm Boy and Princess Leia might be added to Lord Vader requirements. Kids were part of his falls, as is common. Farm Boy Luke, no. Leia, no. Because they're going to stick to, here's my reason on this. You guys can counter me if you think. This goes up to episode 3. Yeah, they were born, but they weren't Farm Boy Luke and Princess Leia at that point. They weren't even born.
What I think they're gonna do if they do that, they're gonna have to make like baby versions of each character.
The baby versions. Oh God!
Like you have to gear up yourself afterwards.
Baby Luke. I can see it. Get out of here. Let's see here. Baron says, not a question, just a remark. I don't know what a remark is. Remark, I think is what you meant. Says the fact that CG is crying about their raids being beaten is ridiculous. Other games really have day one contest modes, and challenges to see which teams beat it first.
I know he's talking about the Destiny and like WoW.
Sure, go make the connection here, buddy.
I think it's with CG, that's all they're focused on really. Like at a time, because that's a lot of for a mobile game that you have to put a lot of power, like a lot of people on that. I think and they have like smaller companies as well. With Bungie and whatnot, they have like large teams that are solely dedicated to raids. They've been working on all year. They just want to move on to the next one, and they enjoy having people like complete it day one. I think it's a combination of like people's mentality and the size of their teams for the raids for each company. To be honest.
Yeah, it's just what you value for what you've invested in, right? So, good observation. Dexatronic says, can you please go over the issue that CG is trying to fix with the nurse? What's the issue? What will happen if they don't fix it? And do you guys agree if it's a thing? The one part about this I do agree with is defensive penetration and ignoring defense, that kind of thing. I get it, right? If you're going to take characters to Relic 9, it could become a big issue long term. The other part of this is making GLs like raid bosses. We've talked a little bit about this, but I mean, I try to see this from CG's perspective. Okay, if you've created these characters, and I saw the video why they were thinking of doing this, I'm sure you guys have all seen the video. Do any of you disagree with CG's assessment? And if you don't, why? And if you do, why do you agree with it, disagree with it, or agree with it? Thane, what do you think? Things
I kind of touched on this a little bit.
I was waiting to see if you were at your harem's house, what was happening, because you were slow to respond there.
No, I'm about to get ready and leave.
What's her name, or what are hers names?
Sienna Ree. No, that's her name.
What is her name?
Sienna Ree.
Sienna Ree? That's the coolest goddamn name I've ever heard.
Oh, I thought you were about to say, like, that's my neighbor or something like that.
Sienna Ree, really?
You never read Lost Stars? That's Pink Kyrell's little
I know, that's why it's so goddamn... No, you made that up. That's not really her name.
No.
Okay, I was like, you son of a bitch. Like, if some parents named their child that, I'm about to say, wow. I was about to be blown away, man.
No, so I touched on this a little while ago, right? If they kind of have agreed or kind of like made up their mind that, like, Galactic Legends are going to be the highest caliber of character for the foreseeable future, then it's good, right? Because they're at least bringing back these the balancing and like the hopefully selfishly I hope they make RJT and Bam a little bit better, because they're journey characters, so hopefully they go back and rebalance some of those as well, because making GLs like Galactic Legend or raid characters, it makes sense. Like I said, if that's going to be the highest caliber of character for a while. Now, if they introduce something higher than that, we'll have that conversation then. But as of right now, I like it because, like, right now, all the GLs can beat each other, right? Even though Kenobi's a step above everybody else, but for the most part, like, all the GLs can beat each other.
All right. Let's see here. Buzzsaw, next question. Oh, go ahead, Vince.
I was gonna say I don't disagree with CG. I think I'll keep this short. I think what they're trying to do right now is they're trying to future-proof themselves for what they have planned.
Okay.
And
I agree.
Like, I think the one streamer that said this the best was Gom. He said they're being what do you say? They're being proactive and not reactive. They're not doing this after somebody breaks something and then the next day,
right?
Oh, we're changing it. It's like, no, we're doing it now. That way you guys don't break anything later.
Makes sense, right? Buzzsaw, question. When you grind out the 4 possible situations of you and your opponent sitting or holding GLs and GAC, does it not make more sense to hold GLs? For me, it does. At the beginning of this, I mean, I'm totally about holding GLs. I just don't know why I would put any GLs on defense, because I can't take the chance that my opponent does some nonsense and I'm like, shit, I'm one short. I just don't know how you come around this. And Thane dropped because he's reached the destination of his apparent Star Wars girlfriend, who's named after not a real character in Star Wars. Okay, so let's throw that out there. Holding GLs, I mean, coming up, probably not in the beginning of this 3v3 or most of this 3v3. We won't see this probably, I'm guessing, Thane, until the next 5v5 GAC. How are we going to handle GLs? That's just really what this question boils down to. Do you just hold your GLs and just see how it plays out, or what do you think?
I mean, I think it depends on how many you have. For me, I always like placing at least half or close to half. Like,
Same.
if I have I'm at 4 right now, so ideally I would like to place 2. Once I get a 5th one, I might place a 3rd if I feel comfortable enough. But it really depends on the comp, your mods, and your opponent. So, like, for example, I placed my JMK with Cat on defense this last round, and it took my opponent 4 battles to kill it. So that, I think, was a win. I don't know what those 4 battles were, but nevertheless, it took him 4 battles to beat that team.
Right.
Had I placed any other team on defense there, it probably would have been like a 55 or a 60, and that would have been an extra 55 or 60 for me, because I could just take in my GMK on offense. But
yeah, it's a good observation. Nathan H's question. I'm going to try to get through these last questions, guys. We're going to start wrapping this up. And if we didn't get your question, we've done a lot of questions. Maybe the questions we answered maybe answers your questions, but we're going to get through these real quick here. Nathan H's question says, I went after Jedi Knight Luke and Jedi Match Luke because Jedi Knight Luke is similar to a mini GL, and Jedi Match Luke helped my rebels a lot. Should I have gone after C instead? No, I still like Jedi Master Luke against Rey. I really do. Even with the changes to gas, I still like that counter. It works really well. I mean, you just burn Rey down. I've used it consistently. I don't even use Vader versus Rey unless they go stupid and go like, you didn't put any tanks or one tank with Rey. Well, that's getting Vadered. I use JML a lot. I mean, he's a really good counter to the only one he sucks against is C, but you don't ever see him on defense. Maybe you see him on defense now, but if you do, you're going to use the SLKR anyway. but or troopers. Now that's changing, but I mean, I don't think you get. I mean, you got a lot of good teams out of it. I don't think you should regret like if you went for JML and you wish you'd gone for C. I don't think that's the case. Do you guys agree or disagree?
I agree. I mean, they're kind of night and day in terms of requirements.
Right.
So you probably could have got C a lot sooner than JML, like a lot sooner. But no, I mean they're both good.
All right, Nathan H. question. Once I finish C, should I finish my Imperial Troopers? I already wrote a couple for C. I still think Troopers are going to be really bombastic against a lot of teams. There's just too good against Darth Revan and other teams. They just destroy it. I mean, it's free 60 banners in my opinion. You know, I'm still going to keep the Relic 8 on Dark Trooper. I know I can't beat C, but I never see C on defense anyway. And with the changes, I'm not going to even bother with Troopers anyway. But if I see any other team on there, I'm like, where do I want to use Troopers? Not, you know, like how that's going to play out. I mean, Troopers are still really good, I think.
I'm investing more in my Troopers because, you know, with these changes, my Bounty Hunters are now going to be my permanent gas counter. So that takes away from Darth Revan. So.
Baron, oh, God bless you, Baron. He says, should I break my phone with a hammer or a wrench after losing my 10th battle against a Jedi Master Kenobi cat team? That's rough. That's super rough. Yeah. You don't break your stuff because you lose a battle. You know, you go get a punching bag like me and you go hit the bag for a little bit and you feel better about yourself. Don't break your phone. Don't destroy property. Don't throw your computer. Don't go to Loki's house and stab him, you know, randomly. Don't do those kind of things, right? You know, control your anger. Nathan H. question, on our new reality, would you farm Dark Trooper and Echo even if you don't finish their squads yet? Yes. Dark Trooper, yes. I don't know about Echo. He's such a huge requirement for gear.
Which Echo? We're talking about the new one, right?
Yeah, I'm assuming this means the new Echo.
I would do Echo over Dark.
He's pretty good.
You can take all of those buffs that like everybody can get, and it's so good. Especially early game on my ult account, just blowing through everything on the opposition.
All right, here's a question for Nathan H. for Santa Durgan. I don't know if Santa Durgan will make this happen, but what gifts would the panel like from Santa Durgan? I would like Devastator, Transformers, the Constructicons. I want the full Devastator team. It would be really good. I want it. Lucky.
Can I have more gear?
Gaming Geek wants more gear for Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. I want a new Devastator with all the Constructicons. It's really good. Lucky, anything from Santa Durgan?
No, I'm good.
Okay. Lucky knows better. Vancil, anything from Santa Durgan?
What were you? I don't know what you were saying. I couldn't hear it.
Santa Durgan. He's gonna give you gifts. What gift would you want from Santa Durgan?
R10.
Okay, R10. There we go. Griff's this question: assuming one GL JML and the other older meta teams are farmed, do you think a Jedi Master Kenobi or Executor will be more valuable for an account? Kind of do. I mean, JMK, I put him on defense and it has just been stupid. Nobody has beaten it yet. Executor is just going to make that even a little bit more difficult if they don't have it, I think.
I think Negotiator is still going to be able to beat Executor.
You think so?
I think so. I don't think it's going to be like you have Executor or you don't. I still think, well, because look at Negotiator. Look how good of a capital ship. Look how good the Galactic Republic fleet is. Sure. Plus, there's a good chance we might get the Bad Batch ship, which is, you know, I don't know what kind of tag it's going to have, but, you know, it could have Galactic Republic.
It could have bounty hunters.
That would be weird, but yeah, it could have bounty hunters.
Not really. They're bounty hunters.
Okay. Well,
mercenaries.
Either way,
we'll go with mercenaries. Yeah, we'll go with mercenaries.
Yeah, either way, the Galactic Republic fleet is so good. You know, you could just change that starting lineup to counter whatever the new meta is going to be, and you're good. I think if you have Negotiator, you shouldn't have to worry. It may be a hard fleet to counter, but I don't think it's going to be unbeatable.
No, I agree with that. I think it's going to be tough, though. All right, last few questions here. Buzzsaw says, does Vincil not listening to Ranger's advice make him an ask-hole?
Yeah.
Yeah. I I tried. I was like, Vince, no, don't just go all dark side. You got to work on light side.
But you know what, though? At the same time,
he struck me violently and then left.
I feel like I've kind of done a service to the community in terms of getting people, the bounty hunters up.
That's right. That's right. All right, 3 more questions and we're done. Travis's question: Richard Quest has made a big deal out of being a conquest reward. When do you think that's an automatic bounty hunter scoundrelship meta rather than the executor, though it's bounty hunter friendly? I still think it's going to be. We don't have the kit in front of us. That's purely speculation. We don't know, guys. Let's wait on that one, Travis, until we actually see the kit, how friendly it is to Empire and how friendly it is to bounty hunters. You would assume they're kind of hinting that it's bounty hunters, but I think I can answer for
the way Crumb talked about it. He said it's mainly just going to revolve around breach, and literally it doesn't need to say like Loki. You use Radis and you use Mon Calamari. Like, it doesn't really matter that those cap ships don't say bounty hunter synergy. It's just what that cap ship does, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Okay. Elsie, question: who should the Thunder draft tomorrow? I not really interested in basketball. Anybody care? Thunder? No. Okay, we're moving on. I'm more of a baseball football guy. Caius' question, this is our last question of the night, says, do you think Jedi Master Luke Ultimate will be more important after the changes? I don't have it and I have 4 GLs.
If you're going to use JML to counter Rey,
yeah, you need it. You have to have it, right?
Yeah, because you got to get to Ultimate so you can get around all the Rey tanks. But I don't know, man. I think JML is going to struggle because you lost your 2 good attackers.
I still think General Luke is going to be effective, but I don't know how. I just don't think Gas is going to work there. You're going to have Cam on that team, right, to really make that team work.
But
we've used Gas 501st too to counter Rey, and I think I think that actually will get better because Gas will stand up faster.
That's true. I didn't think about that.
You can keep whacking away at Rey, so it just depends what the Rey team they put down. But that's one I'm looking forward to. You know,
if you put Gas with JML, still Gas is still Galactic Republic, so you can throw Cat on that team, and everyone gets those bonuses now because you have one Galactic Republic ally there. So we'll see. I think Cat's going to jump to a bunch of different teams as well.
All right. That is all the questions. We did it. Way to go, guys. We did a great job. We got through all the questions and did a great job. Yay. All right. We already allowed Dialar to pimp his stuff. The GAC Whispers out with his harem. Let's let these other awesome content creators pimp their stuff, and then let's get the hell out of here. Because 1, I need to eat, and 2, I need to pee. And so those are a drastic effect on how I'm viewing if I want to get the hell out of here or not. But make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe on our channel. But let's start with the Gaming Geek, man. You were glad to have you here, brother. Good perspective from a lower GP perspective. Where can folks check you out, my friend?
YouTube, The Gaming Geek. Though there's like millions of them, and I got like no subscribers.
Come on, guys. Let's go give Gaming Geek.
Twitch, I use a different name. Let me just.
What name do you? Quick. Yeah, what name do you use? You can put that in the
Lord
chat.
Vader Supreme, and then underscores after every name.
Yeah, put that in there.
I rarely. I mean, I streamed more recently, but I'm just still getting up there, you know.
Just download Blood Bowl. We'll go do some Blood Bowl together, man. You know, I'll crush you with my dwarf team. They're evil. I foul a lot, so I'm just going to warn you. I'm all about killing. I don't care about touchdowns. Van Sale, man, we go way back to our Battlefront 2 days with Arrow Setting. I was going back and watching some of those, man. We were retarded. We really were, man. Especially Arrow Setting, man. That dude used to kill me, dude. You guys don't, if you go back and watch the Battlefront streams, there was one where he was just unformed. He was being so stupid. We were doing heroes versus heroes, right? It's 4v4. And he ended up with Leia. And instead of fighting the battle and helping us, he literally jumped off the side of the platform and killed himself.
Like immediately, like right when it started.
He just was like, nope.
Well, because he didn't want to use Leia, and Leia was trash at the time. I remember that.
He jumped off, and I remember I laughed so hard. I literally passed out. I literally was laughing so hard I passed out from lack of oxygen and fell forward, busted my nose.
Busted your nose, right? Yep.
It bled everywhere. I was laughing so hard. And my ex at the time came running in. It's like, are you okay? I'm like, no. He's retarded. I was sitting there just cracking up. I looked at the sister fright with blood all over the place. Just tears coming out of my eyes, laughing so hard. And then, oh my God. With Battlefront 3 comes out for PlayStation, whatever, Van, so we got to play, man.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
We got to make it happen. Lucky, will you come join us for some Battlefront if we do that?
Probably not, but...
You son of a... Come on, Loki. Maybe? Just say maybe.
I didn't even play Battlefront 2, so
you bastard.
I played the OG Battlefront 2. I like that one.
All right. What if it's like that?
Not the new one.
Will you play if it's like the OG Battlefront?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, there we go. Well, that's a maybe from Sir Loki. But Vince Hill, where can folks check you out, man? You got
Vince Hill on YouTube, Vince Hill on Twitch, and that's it.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, real quick on the event calendar, did you guys see the Galactic Challenges? The Endor one?
Yeah, we talked about that. With the Ewoks?
Jesus, man. Oh, God.
Wait. What was this?
I just read it right now.
Yeah, I covered it earlier. I said, boy, I can't wait to not do that one because that's not happening with my Ewoks.
Oh, that'll be my first one I don't do.
Yeah.
There's a GC with Ewoks now?
Yeah, it's all about the Ewoks.
Oh, damn.
About 5 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever, 3 weeks, whatever. It's coming up in August. So I think a lot of us will be like, nope. we'll get something because we can beat the other feats. But when it comes to like defeat this entire squad with Ewoks, we're like, no, not happening. I am excited. Nathan, it's a Blood Bowl 3 in September is coming out. You bet your sweet monkey butt that I am. So I'm excited for Blood Bowl.
Oh, there's also a Jawa one that's been data mined too. So
yeah, I can't wait for that not to happen.
There's a Jawa Galactic Challenge.
Yeah, I won't be doing that one either. I can just tell you that, folks. When that challenge comes out, don't bother messaging me. Don't bother questioning. None of that shit's happening because I'll be like, nope. I'll go get my tier 6 box and be happy and move on with my life because I'm not even remotely interested. Yep, Kai with a good recommendation. Remember, guys, July 31st and the 1st of August will be double drops. I will be taking advantage of it with Chirotex, which means I will probably not get any Chirotex because I will be doing light side, and I still will get shitty rolls on the Chirotex because the Illuminati. All right, with that, make sure you guys hit the thumbs up, subscribe. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. With this, we're going to get the hell out of here. We've been going almost 3 hours, so I think that's plenty of content. Loki, are we streaming tomorrow, GAC? Just let me know, just because people bug me all the time. Are you guys streaming tonight?
Yeah, I should be able to.
All right, so tomorrow...
I'm back home now, so...
Yay, Loki, me. Tomorrow, GAC, 11:30 p.m. Central, 12:30 Eastern. We'll be hanging out with you guys, you and our GAC. It's going to be great, yeah. Well, yeah, Magic the Gathering. Loki still hasn't sent me a deck, you son of a decent Magic the Gathering. Though if I do Magic, I've played Finn, beat his ass, but if I play Loki, I'm going to get my ass beat. I'm just going to warn you guys, if that ever happens, I'm going to get smoked. So, yeah. So, have a great rest of your night. We'll be back tomorrow for the lunch stream, and then we'll do some GAC that night much later. And then we'll be at Friday for the lunch stream, and then Saturday we'll have the Jedi Academy and more GAC and Dungeons and Dragons and all kinds of stuff. So, feel free to join us at any time. Subscribe here on YouTube and Twitch. Make sure you follow these other great content creators that are hanging out with us tonight. With that, everyone be safe, be well, and we will holler at you soon. Peace out.